Hey grinders, hit that like button, share it out, it's go time! Enough with this damage control.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Let's do this!
Crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack.
Take a look at this. Foolish, this is incredible. What a package.
End of the line.
You're done. You're lost.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
What's up, grinders? Mound up, everybody. Let me fix this. Oh my goodness, that thing is very loud. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's party time in the grindhouse. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Oh, just pull the muscle, yell on my voice now. What's up, everybody? How you doing out there in Grindsville? Hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. Hope everybody enjoyed having it with their families today and yesterday. So, hope everybody had a great time with families as we get back into the work week over here in the U.S. Yes, so shout out to everybody. I see the UK representing. Block that deal. Block the deal, UK. Do your job out there. I see somebody from UK. I'm like, block that deal. CMA. CMA.
The two youths.
To what? What was that word? To what?
What?
Did you say utes?
Yeah, two youths.
What is a ute?
What's up, everybody? It's all about family. How's everybody doing? Shout out to everybody coming on into the Grindhouse. Hit that like button. Share it out. People are busy today. We'll see if Frog jumps on. Might be a Grindhouse bachelor party here, but I got a couple topics as you can see here. We're gonna talk about them. Definitely focus on the star of the field. But let me shout out everybody as they're coming on in here. Let me get everybody here. Hit that like button, share it out. Everybody know it's Monday night. It's Gaming Grindhouse night tonight. Shazamando, what's up? Fabrizzle's making the raviolis. Sounds good. Richard Farmy's room for the FTC. We're room for the CMA. Let's go. Neil, what's up? Ron M. Josh Ayers, how you doing? VIP Grinders in the house. Flexing those emojis. Sergeant, what's up? Wild Wolf. JX, Ant Methods. Andy. The Claymore's Mod. Nostalgia. Compost Smurf. Yeah, boy. Lone Gamer. What's up? Brian East. Socrates, how you doing? That's right. Hit that like button. Hit it. Did I even hit it? I don't know if I hit my own like button. Oh, damn. Did I not like my show? Hold on. Did I hit my own like button? Yes, I hit my own like button. What's up? Boycott Activision. Better words spoken right there. Great name. Thrifty, what's up, Thrifty? How you doing? Harlem. Mr. Tennis. Curse Kane. Mary Wilcox, how you doing? Zero Steel. Sub-Zero is now playing Zero. How's everybody doing? Coming on in, everybody. Coming on in. I gotta put the Grindhouse Fire on. The Grindhouse Fire. Here we go. And before we get into that, we know we got. It's always a party. What I hear? Well, hold on. I hear.
Another one.
What? Quality flutes in the distance. You know what it is. It's always a party over here in the VIP Grinders. Mr. Herman Holtz celebrating with the VIP Grinders. Thank you again for all your support on the channel. And thank you. Flex those emojis throughout the evening. Definitely Phil in a headlock by Double J, Jim Jarrett, Phil Harrett. We got splits. We got the 3 C's. There's going to be plenty of 3 C's this evening, I'll tell you that. And if you're a VIP, you could use the 3 C's emoji. But definitely use all the emojis. And thank you to the VIPs. True Virgil holding strong. Hanging in there. We might see him, we might not. But True Virgil's hanging strong and right there. But shout out to the wall of VIPs. And thank you again for all your support. And I also sent out a message to the VIPs of what grinds your gears. I didn't even check it. I will be checking it this evening and reading it off, man. Thank you again, VIPs. There they are. Josh flexing every single emoji that's available. The more VIPs we get, the more emojis I can offer. And I have some good ideas here. Definitely, the next emoji grinders, if we hit, I don't even know how many I need. But the next emoji, oh yeah. The next emoji is definitely going to be something related to a tattoo. Definitely. We need tramp stamps emojis for the VIP grinders. That is the next one. I need to see how many more we need here. Yeah, oh man, I don't want another video. Hold on, I don't want another video. There we go. My goodness. Let's see. I don't even know how many we need. Let's see if we need any more. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. So we can put a little goal for this evening for the VIP grinders. Let me just see something because I want to know what my next emoji is. YouTube makes it because I don't want to remove these emojis. They're pretty flexing. I like them. But let's see where's the here's this. How many emojis do we need? We need YouTube holding me hostage here. Where is?
You're my #1 customer.
Where is this? How do I do my freaking emojis? Here they are. Emoji. Where is my emoji? Here it is. There it is. Nope, that's the levels.
You're my #1 customer.
Emoji. Here they are. How many we need? Oh, really? All right. We need 21 more members, and we get another emoji in the house. It is definitely going to be one of the Phil tramp stamps. That's the next one I'm making. Is definitely an emoji of tramp stamps. So we need 21 VIPs. That'll be like another. That's going to be like another section for Herman Holtz. You can go splits, but just to keep that's a goal. 21. We probably might not hit it tonight. Who knows? But if we don't, it'll be coming. But that's the next emoji that's coming. Is those tattoos. And if you missed what I'm talking about, those tattoos, oh man, you gotta go watch the show last week, man. There were coffees from Booty, and there were tattoos and a tattoo menu, tramp stamps. Dude, they had people. You want to know what, guys? It took me probably about a good few hours after the show to get my voice back because I was laughing so hard for that thing, man. I was laughing so hard when they had the guy laid out like they were doing surgery on him over at Phil Spencer's thing, man. Oh my goodness! And if you missed it, Grinders, I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of the VIPs here. But first let me get these super chats, and I'll show you a little sneak peek of what I lost my voice over. Twisted Stick with the 5, he goes, Series X is a mid-gen refresh 1X. This straight from Digital Foundry. What the hell, dude? Yes, we will be talking about that. That is topic. That's one of the main topics here. JX Gundam 78, thank you for just the $5. Thank you again for all your support, JX. Shout out to you, man. We're warming up those gears. Let's warm up those gears right now and just do a recap. Just to watch where I lost it on Friday's show here, before we get into the topics here. This is when I lost it on Friday's show. Here we go. Hold on. This is what this is what happened. First off, we got the Booty Coffee. Tell me this dude is not delivering coffee to all those studios. What? Here's my coffee.
We really
it is
put a lot of
Booty.
emphasis on empowering creative risk, and there's so much excitement.
There's Booty. They show the coffee and they show Booty. That's how he does it. He's like, I'll make the Xbox on there nice for everybody. I make it real nice. and you know what? That inspired me to put a brand new clip on the Grinds board. Grinders, I had to put, when I saw that coffee emoji and I saw the Xbox coffee and Booty serving that coffee, this thing, I had to inspire me to put a new voice on here. So we know we got the Grinds board is just growing every single day. 2 creams, 1 sugar. Well, first off, we know the song, right? We got the song. We know it, right? Where is it? Where's the hands up?
Xbox's hands of OSS first development. My name is Matt Booty. Here is your coffee order. 2 creams, 1 sugar.
I came looking for Booty.
We got the Booty, right? He does the coffee, right? Well, inspire me. It reminded me of this. Here it comes, everybody. Matt Booty, tell us about your coffee.
Cool. This coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Oh, good. Then it's not just me.
I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
Cool. This coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Oh, good. Then it's not just me.
Man, those are some complaints from 343 about Booty's coffee. Those studios. What? This is how he serves it at the studios.
Wandering around, I've been talking to people.
Booty's like, this is how I serve it at the studios. Hands off. Wait, Booty, what is it again? Oh, we heard it again.
So much excitement for what we're going to be able to deliver going into 2024.
But this is where I lost it, dude. This is where this part. When they showed these tattoos. How many tattoos do they got in this film? They are mocking their victims. They are tramp stamping everybody at FanFest. I told you this. What are we doing here? I can't say this. I lost it, dude. I see popcorn, and then there's a guy laying all out. Look at this guy. He said he was giving out vasectomies. The true version of this can't be you here. They're giving out vasectomies here by Dr. Philip Spencer.
What is going on here? Where are the games? What are we...
I'm gonna lose it again. I can't watch this. I can lose it again watching this thing. I can't. Oh my god. Where's the game? What are we? Who's going there? I can't. I'm living on myself, dude. I can't look at this. I can't.
You're my number one customer.
I think that's gonna be the new emoji. God. This dude laying flat out on a table at an Xbox show, getting a goddamn vasectomy from Dr. Phil. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Oh my god, what are we doing?
30 frame per second tattoos. He's like, put the 30 frames right here. Right in my floor. Put the 30 frames. Give me that 30 frames per second tattoo. Oh, shit, they're doing circumcisions. they're doing circumcisions. Oh, shit. They're giving circumcisions over there in the shape of an Xbox logo. Circumcisions, and they're going to cut it in the shape of an Xbox. Oh, dude, I lost it. I'm losing it again. Oh, man. Oh, shit. I'm podcasting with myself. Where's the game? This is like a full ass goddamn tattoo, like freaking fucking surgery room. Xbox Fan Fest. What the fucking? I thought this was about games. What the hell is going on here? Oh my god. Like this guy, is there like a recovery room or something for this guy? Because I'm looking at this, I'm like, what circumcisions? Dude, like, I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, well, what games are you playing? Like, you're getting your wrist tattooed. Like, you ready to go play some games then? Like, you're just going there for a freaking tramp stamp. Get mocked. Well, you get your freaking circumcision.
Paging Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil. He got his Phil Ness degree at Phil Ness University. He is a doctor. He is an official doctor of circumcisions.
Sir, we do circumcisions, then we make it look like the Xbox symbol on your dick. Everybody's the new rage. Go on, dude. I went off. I'm just, man. I went off on that stuff, but my goodness. Yes. I don't know who's doing it. Who's going over there to get the goddamn friggin' laid out? Dude is laid out. It is not no friggin' like, hey, here's a little gift box where we got the little kitty tattoos you can put on, little Xbox stickers and here. Dude, they're going full out surgery. Goddamn tattoo parlors out there mocking them. Phil Spencer's mocking them like cattle.
Number one customer.
You know when they take the cattle and they brand them? They're branding everybody. Phil's like, engagement. Engagement. Phil's like, we must have sold about 5,000 tramp stamps. That's about 5,000 engagements, Satya. Satya, those good numbers, Satya. Satya's like, you know what? Those are spectacular numbers.
So everything that we are doing with our content, with our our cloud.
Shut up, Satya. Get out of here. SSJ confirmed their vasectomies they're giving out over there. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Pause on that one. They're going to add that to the menu, Niku. They're going to add it to the menu next year. You saw the Xbox, like they had the menu of the tattoos? You saw they got the menu, the tattoo menu? Where is it? They got the tattoos. They got a menu. Next year, they're adding the 30 frames per second tattoo. Look, they added the tattoos here. Look, you saw the menu, right? There's the menu, yeah. Because I'm not going to go back to their video again. Dude, they must have like 30 pictures of tattoos.
A soul.
What?
Down here somewhere.
Where is it? Where's the menu? Here's the menu. Hey, man. Next year, they're in the 30 frames per second tattoo on the menu. They took off the monsters that eat monsters for breakfast. They took that one off. Oh, Jesus. True Virgin with the facts. Look at this. I can't. True Virgin, no. No, not like this. Not like this, dude. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. We got to play. I had one before. Hold on. I got to get this other. Did I get this one? Oh, yeah. Okay. I got that super chat. Oh, no. JX Gundam. There he goes. Bro, you see Thrash got that Starfield petition? Dude, I saw some of that. I didn't read into it.
Customer.
I got to look into that. But, man, that Starfield petition, I put it on the PS5. Is that what it is, JX? Is that what it is when they put it on the PS5? I don't know. I didn't look at the petition. I've been away. True Virgil. Oh, my goodness, dude. True Virgil. I'll play you some.
Sign me, please. I will bend over and touch. Mine is tell me it.
It's better when we all play the make exclusive games and like. To my face, thank you, Phil.
All right, now I'll read True Virgil's super chat. Thank you, True Virgil. He goes, live events have a tattoo room. Show was funny, though. Thanks a lot, True Virgil. You're still there. You're still going to stay there, Herman. The Herman's Nuts will keep you there. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate the support, True Virgil. But, yeah, live events have a tattoo room. Dude, I was at PAX East. There was no tattoo rooms at PAX East, okay? That was a live event, all right? So I don't know why Microsoft chooses to tramp stamp everybody. There were no giving out real tattoos at PAX East. I'll tell you that. All right? So I don't know what's going on. Every PAX East I've been to, there was not a real tattoo parlor. Okay, so I don't know what live event you going to. Maybe they're down some dark alleyways.
And if he believed that, he also believed there are Richard Simmons Jr.'s running around.
Live events. So, those are Xbox exclusive, dude. They got a menu. Like I said, stickers, it is what it is. An Xbox sticker, dude. Full out surgery rooms. You get a tattoo and a vasectomy or a circumcision shaped as an Xbox logo. That's what they're giving out over there.
Another one.
Feels like, yes, you need to be you need to have this procedure done if you want to come to my rooftop party. That's what he says. I like my fans at Fan Fest to be mocked. It's sick. Sick. And after that showcase, they went out there to watch the video that we watched. That's what everybody's there for. They're watching that video. Was that video tattoo-inducing? Was that showcase a tattoo-worthy event? That's what I'm talking about. Did that showcase want you to get a tattoo to be mocked by Phil? Isn't it? That's what it is. Was that tattoo worthy? Because I saw that, I was like, meh. Like, I'm not like, yo, Xbox is it. Give me that tattoo. Little Gamer says my last reminded me of jackals. So awesome. I'm a jackal, really? Oh boy, it's an animal. Like, dude, I don't know. I have no clue what the hell is going on. But anyway, into the time. Hit that like button, grind to share it out. But that video, woof, it took me like hours to get over there. I know Claymore, right? Claymore says no one cares about janky Bethesda games. Yeah, we'll talk about the Bethesda games. Oh man, X-Hawk's here. X-Hawk, we're gonna get a repeat. There you go. I saw you in the video. You were laying out there. I saw you, X-Hawk. You were laying on that gurney right there. Phil was coming over for the vasectomy and the branding. And they played the song for you in the background.
Sign me, please, I will bend over and touch. My knees tell me it's better when we all play the make exclusive games and like. To my face, thank you, Phil.
And just before I get into the topics, you know, one of the things that I've been seeing from this showcase, right? This fallout from the showcase. Thank you for subscribing, Rob Solid. Thank you for subscribing. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. We're on our way to 2,300, baby. Woo! Party time. Yeah, 10 more. It's wild times, baby. Grindhouse is growing. Can't stop it. Won't stop. But you go there after the showcase. Xbox is back. They did what they needed to do. What are you playing now that you weren't going to play before the showcase? It's still a...
Wait, just wait till E3. There will be a showcase, but I can't wait when all our games need help. Bootleg Studios, help.
It's still waiting. It's still waiting. It's still. Hellblade, huh? When? I don't know. You still know? Forza and Starfield. That's it. But Xbox needed to get the rebound. They needed the quality. They needed to make a quality statement. And what did they do? They showed you in-engine CGI, just stuff. No gameplay. Nothing of their future besides of what you've seen. And then even the gameplay for Forza looked rough. They leveraged Starfield. Because if you look outside of that Starfield Direct, the rest of that stuff was what? All the years you've been waiting for Fable to see that? That's what Fable is. Another CGI. In-engine, cinematic trailer, whatever they want to call it. We'll see. I showed you what we broke down on Friday, what Forza looked like last year with their in-engine 4K footage, and what it looked like this year. Looks totally worse. Downgrade. Why did it look better last year, 4K? In-game footage, quote unquote. And it looked worse a year later. Makes no sense. Halo downgrade. Crackdown downgrade. It's just a matter of time. After years of waiting, that's what you get. So I wouldn't believe it. I would wait till the controls in hand and they're playing it. Same thing with Starfield. Things I was taking away was like, there seems like a lot of defense, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it because it seems like a lot of defense for a game that nobody has played yet. A lot of excuses being made because of Todd Howard lies. And this guy's lied before. He talks a good story. He tells a good story in his jacket, his Uber jacket. Looks like a goddamn Uber driver. When you take a picture next to Todd Howard, it looks like, it's like, why's your Uber driver taking a picture with you? He talks, they got the tell me lies meme from him. And you're going to take his word for it without playing it. And what he's showing. A lot of defense. A lot of weird stuff. And I want to believe, hey, if they want to believe it's gameplay, let them. Because guess what? They don't play games anyway. They're not playing them. They care about Microsoft money and Microsoft being in the news and rooftop parties and all that other stuff. Tramp stamps, hugging, taking pictures, access. That's what it's all about. When it comes down to the games, like when we talk about, hey, what you're going to play, that's where Xbox lags behind. Because there's still a question mark. 16 times the grinding. Yeah, that's right. It's a question mark. They can't show gameplay. So that's a little preview of what's going to come. Because I got some things here. I got comment on some stuff. But that showcased the defense for it. Really just... Dude, it's not... We covered it on Friday about gameplay, cinematic trailers, them changing it from cinematic to in-game trailer. We covered it all on Friday. So if you want to watch that, that was Friday's grind because that was just ticking me off. And I have all visual proof as to why to not believe it. I'm not saying there's no way it could happen, but I'm saying from what we saw, I'm not putting all my trust in Microsoft's going to deliver something like that. And that fluid and what that's looking like. Because even Hellblade gameplay, where is it? And as we see more of it, it keeps going less and less. And that game's scheduled for next year. When we're going to see more of it? But the excuses, dude. The excuses. What's up, Kratos? How you doing, man? What's up, Brian? Phil Nesson. Yeah, that's right, Phil Nesson. So let's get into the first topic. We'll save the rest of that stuff here. So I did get the Asus Ally. All right, the Ally. What the hell do you call this thing? The Ally. Is it called Ally? Yes. The Asus ROG Ally. I messed up. I missed the Republic of Gamers thing. So for those who haven't seen it, I'm sure you've seen it around here. I might do, if you guys are interested in it, I'll do like kind of a demonstration like I did with the Steam Deck on there. We'll just get this here. But I wanted to give my first, just my use case I had for about a week already. I got it when it came out. And, here, I'll just share my screen here so you can see it. Just to know what I'm talking about here. So this thing. Now, again, I'm primarily console. I play on consoles and stuff like that. But I do have the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck I use a lot, like, when, my kids take the TV and I kind of want to get some games on. And, I've been playing, like, Ninja Turtles on there, Rocket League, just kind of stuff to kill some time because I'm not playing on my friggin' phone, I'll tell you that. So I played the Steam Deck a lot, especially when I was sick and stuff. Like, when I locked away in quarantine, man, that thing came in like crazy. I was using that thing like crazy. I was interested in this, right? Because I wanted to play some more of the games that you couldn't do on the Steam Deck without a whole bunch of hacking and things, with a whole bunch of like downloading stuff. And I got the Epic Store to work, but you couldn't play any Epic games. My library of Epic games that I get for free, and also the ones I have like Fortnite and things, you can't play them online on the Steam Deck. And even Halo, you can't play Halo. They just made Master Chief Collection working on the Steam Deck. But no, I'm not playing on my phone, Kun. I'm not playing on my phone. Yeah. So this thing right here, first off, let me tell you, it's lighter. The screen is awesome. I do like the ergonomics of the Steam Deck better. Like, I like holding the face buttons and the sticks in the same plane across the top and not having this kind of shift here with this one. But I have to say, the versatility of it, what you can use on there, and I've been playing Hive Busters on there, like Gears of War, Gears 5 Hive Busters. This thing is powerful too. But with great power comes low battery life, and that's one of the biggest things. Like, you are not taking this like a Switch out on the road with you, because the battery life does go away pretty quick. Like, we're talking about, you watch it drop, man. You do a couple of matches, and you're down from 100% to 70%. And that's the truth. And there's things that you can do to kind of lower that rate, but the rate of the battery life definitely affects itself. And with its greatest, very what you can do with it, like, because it's a Windows computer. Well, that's its Achilles heel as well, because you gotta like shut Teams down, like Teams booted up, and I'm like, yo, Teams does not have to launch. This is a gaming machine. I wish, and this is the thing that bothers me so much about it, is that I wish Microsoft will just, like, it's not like, and I said this, I was saying this to Mooch, I was talking to him about it. I like, first off, the hardware is great. It is incredible for what it is. I just upgraded it to a 2 terabyte SSD, man. You just put it right in there. Dude, 2 gigabyte. I got for like $200, 2 gigabytes, and I got a 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, I mean, and then I have a 1 terabyte, SSD card on top. The controls, I have to say, control-wise, the bumpers, I think, are not. No, the controls are pretty good. I do like the clickiness. If you can hear, I do like the bubble clickiness of the buttons. D-pad is not too good. I do think the Steam Deck has a little bit better controls, but I do appreciate, I think this being so light, seems a much more portable device than the unwielding Steam Deck to me. The back buttons are better because they are just like big buttons. There's less of them because there's only one on the back of it. You can see. But I'm enjoying it. And here's the stats of it. The power of this Ryzen. So what I did is I used it, I docked it to the TV, and I was playing just from this. And dude, it has a 1080p 120 hertz screen, but again, you run it at that battery's going pretty low. What I like doing, it actually has a lot of the AMD kind of up-resing and all that other stuff. So you play it at 720p, 120 frames, and it up-reses with their, I forget what they call it. They have all the fancy names for it. But it actually runs, like, you could get games running over 60, and it's a variable refresh rate screen. It's really, I think it's great. Like, it's really, really cool. So I'm probably keeping this. And, because you could just do Steam on here, and you could play everything. The problem is Windows, but again, it's a crutch, but also I'm familiar with Windows. I'm not really familiar with Linux. So once I went into desktop mode in the Steam Deck, it was kind of like uncharted territory there. Well, it's similar, but like as like an app store and stuff like that. But I just think the size of this makes it much more of a easier device to play with. And they did such a great job. If you see with these buttons here, and I'll do more of a video of it if you're interested. Let me know in the comments, in the chat if you want. I'll do like a live video of it and go through it like I did with the Steam Deck. I still have my Steam Deck, so we'll go through comparisons. But again, it's only been a week, honeymoon period. But I gotta say, I'm very impressed with it, and I'm eager to play it. Like, it was really cool just watching TV and just playing some of this. Like, instead of like, hanging out with the wife, watching some, Black Mirror, and then just, knocking out a few rounds on this thing. It's $6.99 for this one. It's $6.99. This is the only one that's out. They're all coming out with one, I think, for $5.99 that doesn't have the Z1 Extreme. It's just the Z1. But if you look, it comes with 512s a gigabyte. It comes 512 a memory, and it does. So like, if you look at the Steam Deck around that price, it's about $50 more than the Steam Deck. And I gotta say, one of the other things somebody put in the chat, dude, the sound of it, insane. The speakers are super powerful and really clear. And I don't know if it's not going to come through on here, and I'll probably have to do that. Yeah, the D-pad is definitely not too... I like the D-pad on the Steam Deck better. And it has a fingerprint sensor, which is pretty cool. You can log in through that. I don't like the proprietary GPU thing, but it is. But I tell you, they do a really good job having this game library kind of pop up. Definitely a lot of quirks on it. They're putting a lot of updates on it. They did like a BIOS update. You got Windows updates on it. So yeah, if you just... Oh, I have a gaming laptop. I have like a, what is this one? I use this one. This is my Zephyrus ROG, I don't know what the hell this one is. This one has a 3070 in it. But yeah, like, yeah, you get a gaming PC, but my gaming PC was like $2,000 last year I got it on this one. But that's what it is. Like, that's the thing. If you have a gaming PC, I would say, you know what, if you want to get into gaming without a gaming PC, like you have one and you just, I don't know. And I do think it's pretty damn cool. I could do some Fall Guys on here. The screen is awesome. And it's very quiet too. It doesn't have a it doesn't get very hot, and it's from my experience so far. Now, they gave me 3 free months of Game Pass, so that's why I'm playing Hive Busters with it, because I haven't played Hive Busters. Hive Busters looks pretty damn good, but man, those remind me of the Xbox in the old days. Compared to what we're getting now, 30 frames per second, dude, I don't know, who knows what the next Gears is going to look like, dude. I don't even know. But Xbox Game Pass still sucks on here. Like, you know, it's still just like a very bad interface. Steam Big Picture is absolutely incredible, but if you have a lot of Steam library games, then the Steam Deck is good for you. But I'm probably going to keep it. Yeah, I play Fall Guys on it. I can play Fall Guys on here. I know you can do Fall Guys on the Switch. I know. But my kids take the Switch on me. And I'm telling you, the Switch, I hate those controls. The Switch controls feel like goddamn weird shit. I do not like the Switch. The Switch controllers and not having a full D-pad, dude, I'm not doing that. Yeah, High Buses, I'm about like 6 chapters in. It's short. Probably about halfway done, but yeah, you know what it is? Hive Busters, it gets right to the combat, and it's just like classic Gears. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. But again, it's only been a week, so yeah, Game Pass. I'm telling you, man, Game Pass really, they're there, and that's the thing that bothers me so much. That the hardware, right? The hardware of this thing is incredible. It's just lazy ass Microsoft that ruins it. That's the problem. It's like, it's not like Asus is doing this behind their back. This is not no black market goddamn device. And this is the thing that grinds my gears about this thing as I play it. It's like, the hardware, what this thing's capable of is awesome. Just like the Steam Deck. But the Steam Deck is definitely a better implementation of software and hardware. This is excellent hardware, but the software is not ready, and they're trying to make their whatever they can do with apps and whatever. Asus is trying to make this without going into Windows, and they've done a decent job of it, but again, it's still buggy because it's still based on Windows. And what kills me is that lazy-ass Microsoft, it's not like Asus was doing this behind their back. Right? Like, hey, like, yo, we're just doing this in cloud. No, Microsoft's the one with Phil Spencer and their Game Pass person. They're all there promoting this thing. Work, like, oh, we're. Meanwhile, they didn't partner nothing on here. Microsoft should have made a special Windows game mode for these kind of devices. Hell, they should just make it for PCs, for laptops and stuff. But they should just make it where Teams doesn't boot up when I boot up my gaming console, when I boot up my portable console, when I boot up my gaming laptop. Its Windows software is trash because you're signing into a gaming machine and it's asking you if you want the free trial of Microsoft Office. That's how crazy it is. That's how crazy it is. It's so jarring. You're like, no, this is play all my games. And when you boot it up, it's like, oh, you get a free trial of Microsoft Office. I'm like, what? Why is that popping up? Know your device, Microsoft. If it's dedicated gaming device, don't have Microsoft Office pop up. Don't have goddamn Teams in the background that I gotta stop the task of Teams. This is what drives me crazy when Microsoft just slaps their shit on everything and just say it works everywhere. It reminds me of exactly what they're doing to their games. It's exactly what they do to Windows. Just like they did with VR. Oh yeah, we do VR too. No, you don't. It's a software and hardware. And that's where the Steam Deck excels. Because it is, yes, there's a desktop mode, but man, when you turn that on, it's gaming. And that's the one thing that's the big thing about the Steam Deck. It's gaming. It's your Steam library. Now, there's downsides with that if you want to play with other stores and stuff. Yes, there's ways to sideload, but there's also implementations that you cannot play online. You can't play Fall Guys. You can't play Fortnite with this fidelity. And I'm going to tell you, this screen, like you do 60 frames, man, I'm playing Fortnite like at 70 frames per second. Like it looks damn good on this thing. The hardware is great. It's the software. It's Windows. It's the great thing about it that's compatible with everything, but it's also the Achilles heel of it. And that's the issue that I have. Because Microsoft comes out like goddamn Mickey Mouse. Woohoo, here they come. Look, we got a ROG Ally. We have the Logitech G Cloud. And that's based off of Android. But this one's like, we got the Ally, gaming on the Ally. And it's just like, you're promoting this, Microsoft. Why don't you spend some time and make the software work with the hardware? You know there's going to be clones of these devices. I am sure HP's going to make one. I am sure Asus is going to make one. These things are going to be the new hotness. The gaming laptop that's turned into a controller with a gaming laptop. But I tell you, this thing, it's lit. And if you play like any kind of PC games and you're used to playing on Windows with PC, then this is just a laptop in your hand. And also, when this is docked, dude, multi-screen, like this is a laptop. It's a friggin' laptop. So, like, if you have a big gaming rig and you don't want to buy a gaming laptop to just mess around away from your gaming rig, this is for you. And you can use any dock. I bought a dock for like $40 off of Amazon. You don't need their dock. And 4K 60 outputs. It works great. So you take a little portable dock, you plug this thing in, and you're good to go. Mouse, keyboard, like, dude, it's a full Windows computer. Multi-screen. I plugged it into my frame, my desk thing, and it came up on all over. So, I'll do a more of like a visual one with the camera on here just to show as I mess around with it. But I love the hardware, and the thing is that I'm familiar with Windows and dealing with this crap, but it's one of those annoying things. Oh, and the other thing that I want to let everybody know too, just my initial impressions of it, is that the standby time is great because I thought Windows was going to kill it. You know what they do? Like when you turn off your laptop and Windows just has like some battery sucker in the background where it's just taking away power, and you put it in hibernation mode at 90% and you come back, it's at 70. You're like, what the hell happened? This doesn't have that. You put this in hibernate. You press that top button and you put this in hibernate mode. because that was a great thing with the Steam Deck. Like, it would just resume your game. Now, that does resume your game. This kind of goes in hibernation, so it kind of locks you out of the game after some time if you come back the next day. Steam is better with that. But this, they have a very low-power quick resume type thing. Not quick resume necessarily, but battery saving. So when you hit the power button off, you don't have to shut it down. You just hit the power button off. It stays at 90%. And I tested that a couple of times. So the battery life while it's in hibernation mode is great. So it's quick resume back into it. But you probably usually get logged out of the game because it goes into hibernation. But yeah, the battery life compos, it's very short. It's very short. Yeah, you're not going on a car ride with this thing. You know, but I gotta say, in the sense that the battery's short, it charges super fast. You plug this thing in, and it goes from like 30% to 70% in like 20 minutes. And also, you could use a 65 watt battery pack as well. No, I don't think it's gonna brick too easy because I put in a new SSD, and they have a whole Asus cloud recovery, which it just downloads Asus like Windows and everything from the cloud, and it just installs it, fresh install, clean install from their BIOS. Mr. Tennis, Ant Methods, yeah. So you could just, like, that's what I did. Like, I didn't even do no backup discs or anything like that, dude. I just hit it from the Asus thing and just downloaded it. Yeah, and it's not quick resume, but it's basically hibernation mode. Because I thought Windows was just gonna just chew up that battery in the background. But yeah, and that's the problem, Brian. Exactly. Like, Asus is trying, like, they're updating their Armory Crate as best they can. They do have a lot of quick settings, a lot of things you can do, change the refresh rate, change the resolution, add the up resolution mode they can do. You could frame rate cap it. I can tell you, I'll tell you one thing. Playing on the Steam Deck, one of the games that I used was Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge, which, by the way, is coming to PlayStation. I've into the PlayStation thing. If you haven't bought it yet, I definitely recommend playing that game. I played that game on low power, silent mode on this one, which is like 10 watts, because there's like 4 watts, and then you could do your own watts. You could do 18 watts, which is good. You could do a battery pack, and that works. But Turtles, 1080p, 120 hertz, and I was playing that at like 580p, a 7p, 580p, whatever, 800p at the on the Steam Deck at 60 frames. The 1080p at 100, the Turtle game runs like super fast. Like what I'm gonna tell you right now, between the Steam Deck and this, the screen and the experience you're getting is like you're watching a movie in IMAX. Yes, it's short. Yes, it's more money. Yes, but it's gonna be an experience. This is equivalent to going to like an IMAX, whereas you could kind of watch the movie at home. You know what I mean? Or watch it on like 4K Blu-ray. I'm not going to say like the Steam Deck is watching it at home. But like the experience that you get with this, it's like, it's going to be short, sweet, but it's incredible that you have this power in your hands. And it charges really quick. I just wish this stuff was around when I was traveling all over the goddamn place. I was lugging a friggin' Xbox in a backpack to hotels to play gaming. Dude, that's how bad it was. Xbox in a backpack, the OG Xbox. I've had a backpack for it. I had to bring that thing with me to game on the go. Now they got this. They got gaming laptops that are so small now. Man, I was lugging an Alienware around just to game while I was away from my systems. But then I brought my systems with me, dude. But yeah, I wish they worked together. But it looks like it's gonna be all on Asus. Asus, their BIOS, their Armory Crate, all that stuff. It's gonna be on them. Microsoft's not going to do anything because they just slap Windows on stuff and say, it's a Microsoft device, woohoo! Steam Deck plays everything from Steam. Oh, not everything from Steam, because there's certain games on Steam that are not made for Linux. So Steam Deck is not everything on Steam. So there's some games that have to be made for Linux. But when you put Steam Big Picture on here, it's basically having a Steam Deck and everything works on it, because there's no kind of has to wait for Linux. So the library on the Steam Deck is smaller from Steam because not every game is made for Linux for that one. Plus, you can all your stores, your Ubisoft store, EA store, Epic Games store, Xbox store. You could do Xbox Cloud, all that other stuff. But you could play natively, and that's the big thing. I tried PlayStation streaming on here. Problem is, it doesn't work with these controllers. You got a Bluetooth. You got to do a PlayStation controller to it. So Remote play for PlayStation, not too hot. Again, no, I don't do web playing and streaming yet. That's at least. But yeah, $700 is a lot. There's a lot there. You know, if you're looking at a laptop, I say go get a laptop. But you know, if you have a desktop, if you wanted something to get into gaming, like you don't want to buy a laptop, because I'll tell you, yeah, you could get a gaming laptop, but $700 gaming laptop, as I tried, and you could do like netbooks and stuff like that with like external GPUs, but like I'm done with buying those kind of things, like those like ultrabooks, and then using like a GPU. Nah, man, I want integrated graphics cards. Like I said, like I got like I say like I'm telling you, the Asus ROG, like the Zephyrus series. If you want a gaming laptop, they're the best. I love it. I think they do the best. The best battery life management. I had the Zephyrus 14 that had an AMD processor on it. I used that a lot, but then I got this one with the higher resolution screen, and this one I love. And actually, I think this one's down to like $1,100, $1,300. I think this one is. It's the one with the 3080 in it. But yeah. Yeah, 15 or more, exactly, Ron. That's what I said. Yeah, so like this $700, yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, Ryan East loves that. Joe, I'm telling you, man, Brian, the Zephyrus, the G14, and this is the G, what the hell is this one? I don't know what the hell. The next one up, the M16, or not the M16, it's the G15 or something like that. I think it was one of those, but my God. I'm telling you right now. And that's why, you know, another reason why, because I had this computer's been so good, like this Asus ROG, that like the one I'm using right here, the Zephyrus one, that I was like, you know what? They're really good with battery life. I really like the performance, the price of the Asus ROG series. So that's why I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm an Asus fanboy, but you know what? I really, you know, that's the one thing of how I am as a consumer. If I'm satisfied with a product that you make, I may dive into your other things. Like if I'm really, you know, really like, hey, this laptop's been great. I had 2 Zephyruses already. They've been great. You know what? Let's take a chance. And you know what? I tell you, the hardware is incredible. And that's the thing you'll take away from this. You'll be like, wow, this thing is light. The screen is incredible. I can't believe I'm playing this on this screen. And the sound is awesome. And you put this sound at 100, dude, you like almost have like surround sound theater, like in your face. Like it's really engaging. I'm so surprised. These little speakers in the front. Dude, that is the thing that blew me away, was basically the sound on this thing. Like, yeah, you could put headphones on. You have a USB-C up top and a headphone jack. But, man, you put this volume up at 50, 60%, you were like, yo, I'm like in a almost theater-like. Like, I'm a big headphone junkie, and I'm into sound. I can't believe the sound coming off of this stuff. Like, it is really engaging. Like, it gets you in the game. And yeah, it's been good. I really enjoyed it. But again, it's been a week. I'll give more impressions. I'll do a live video if people are interested in it. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll compare it. I'll do like a video showing. Next thing is gonna try to get emulators on here. Sound in your face. That's right. But yeah, mobile gaming. No. Like the thing that drains the battery is definitely the screen. It's definitely I'm not saying it's gonna blast the room, Brian. Blast the room, but if you're playing it, dude, it is like it's engaging. Josh knows, the sound guy. You know, I like immersive sound, right? And I was pretty impressed how this didn't sound like tinny speakers like you get from a laptop. Whereas, like, oh yeah, well, give me headphones because this thing, the fan is louder than the goddamn speakers. This thing goes, man. You put this thing out, I'm like, and it was enough to keep me engaged in the game. Like I wanted to play, and I'm hearing like explosions and hearing sound, and some sound may come to the side of you because it does do Atmos a little bit, but it is really impressive coming from that. And yeah, and I said, like, the battery life, again, you're not gaming no 4 or 5 hours on this. Steam Deck will give you a little bit better battery, and the Steam Deck is better at low powers. They did do another update to here. They've been doing a lot of updates to it, but definitely it's the fidelity, exactly. But yeah, no, it's a different experience. It's nothing like a unique mobile operating system. It's Windows, but the form factor is really cool. It's pretty accessible just to boot up and play some games. Again, I'm not going to sit there and play an I don't know. I've been playing Hive Busters, playing Fortnite, Rocket League, You know, like my son goes on the TV on Rocket League, and then I go on there and we play as a team. So I'm sitting on the couch. I got this thing. He's playing on the PlayStation. Or I could do both PlayStations, but yeah, it is interesting. It is cool lounging and hanging out. And if you're just around your house playing, like battery life's not an issue because you can just plug it in and play. And then when you plug it in, it even gets a 30-watt power, so it jacks up even more the power of this thing. And even you could put it up to 45. And really push this thing. So you could do a little bit of, sometimes if you go medium to low settings, some games you could do like 1440p 60 on this. From this thing. Pretty wild. Like GPU, like it's not it's pretty crazy. Like how good this thing runs games. Like, you know, and I'm still impressed like how you can do it. But anyway, but that's that in the comparison to the Steam Deck. But yeah, I'm liking it, but again, I always give myself about 2 weeks. That's the honeymoon period. After 2 weeks, you know, we'll see if like I'm really still doing it, like playing and stuff. But I'm really enjoying it as like being on the PlayStation, and then because again, you know, I have my gaming laptop here and I have like on a 4K screen and stuff, but like it's sitting at a desk all day. I really don't like gaming on a desk. I like on a couch, my Grinds theater and things like that. Again, this is me. How I prefer. So, like, I don't like sitting at a work desk playing games. That's why I use this for podcasting, video editing, things like that. And I'll play a game here, too, do some streaming and stuff. But, like, when I want a game, I want to play on the couch. Like, I want to play on my screen, on my, you know, the other screen, the theater, and be immersed, right? So that's why this thing is pretty cool, because I can take some of those games that I get from the Epic Store and just some my gaming library, and I can sit on the couch and play them. Rather than having to sit at a computer desk and, you know, playing that way. That's me. That's how I feel. That's how I am about PC gaming, you know, on that stuff. But it's good to have both of them. I really enjoy it. And the Steam Deck is great, too. I like the Steam Deck. Yeah. It is a 7-inch screen. And the screen is really good and patient. So I have to say, it's a 7-inch screen, and the screen is really good. So it's not like a phone screen. Because, yeah, it's not like a 5-inch screen. So it's a 7-inch screen. 1080p, when you could drop it to 720 and you're really bouncing between the two of them, you really don't see too much of a difference. So you could save some battery life by doing 720p, and you could put 720p 60, seems to be like an incredible thing. And if you want to really push it, you could go to 120. I played Halo Infinite on it. You know, speaking of Halo Infinite, this is episode 117. This is episode 117. And speaking of Chief and playing Halo Infinite, let me tell you something. Halo Infinite, you ever watch Cars? The Disney Cars? Remember when they talk about how Route 66, back in its heyday, it was a bustling city and bustling pass-through for everybody on Route 66. Back in its heyday. And now it's abandoned because now the highways came in and Route 66 is abandoned. All the businesses dried up. Well, that's Halo. Halo Infinite was never good in its heyday, but the Halo franchise was good in its heyday. And now, it's a shell of its former self. It really is. So I played it, right? And went back into it. It takes forever to join a game. And they call it, at the bottom, they try to be slick about it. Because, you know, Microsoft, the trustworthy Microsoft, right? Trustworthy. We're loading the map. It says at the bottom. Dude, they're looking for players. And I'm convinced they're throwing bots in that game. They are throwing bots in Halo. I'm convinced, dude. No way people they suck. Those are AI bots. There's a reason why they created that training ground. Because they were using that as a way to put bots in the game. These guys, they are not real people. They are not. I'm convinced there are some people that are not real. And I did a couple of things where I would shoot around and like they wouldn't look. I'm thinking it filling up. But, dude, I'm telling you, it takes forever to join a game. And it just, I'm like, what? I hit join, and I'm like 2 minutes go by. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on, Halo Infinite? What are we doing here? And it's like at the bottom, it says loading map. And it just goes on. And I'm like, loading map. Getting map ready. Getting map ready. And it's like 2 minutes, dude, of waiting to join a game. 2 minutes. It's not, you don't click on it and you're in a game. It takes forever to join a game. Gears 5 is the same. I'm telling you, dude, these install bases are dried up. Because I tried Gears 5 as well. Takes forever. It's a ghost town. It is Route 66. It is so dry, this install base. And I'm convinced, dude, the Halo, man, I'm telling you, those people are horrible. I join a game and I'm like, well, I'm shooting people, they're not even shooting back. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what the hell's going on with Halo? Dude, it is dire. So lately, with the recent news, did you see this news that came out? Hot off the presses, grinders. Hot off the presses. Talking about a dying thing. And this is going to lead us right into Starfield. Oh my goodness. What a name. Balls Daily. Oh,
You're
man.
my #1 customer.
Balls Daily says it's almost time for the fantasy, my sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Final Fantasy, baby. Amen to that, Balls Daily. Those are some smart balls right there. So, speaking of a dying Halo, look at this. Look at this, grinders. Public service announcement. Here we go again. Here we go again. As we refine our top priorities and shifted resources internally this year, we had to make the decision to forego seasonal narrative cutscenes to make room for the team to continue focusing on highly requested features, content, and improvements for Halo Infinite. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Dude, I played Halo Infinite. I was on the same maps from launch. They added about 3 maps in 2 years. 3 maps, like 4 maps. It was like 2 maps. The same goddamn maps I'm playing on. I told you, they added about 4 maps over 2 years. They finally achieved seasonality. And you saw, like, Phil had to do some Phil Ness. You saw this, right? Phil had to do some explanation why Halo wasn't at their showcase. Where is it? Where's Phil Damage Control? Dude,
you just made the list.
He loves this shit. He loves this shit. Thrifty, welcome to the VIP Grinders. He loves this shit. Phil, here. Phil, where was Phil? What's Phil's quote? Where is he? This is not it. This is Phil's quote? No. Phil had some Phil Ness. Here's Phil. Phil Spencer says Halo wasn't at the Xbox showcase because it has... How do we read this article? How do we read this stuff and not want to just put our fist right through the screen? Like, how does this not frustrate you? You see what this son of a bitch is saying? This is he loves this shit. He loves it so much. Phil Spencer, Halo wasn't at Xbox Showcase because it has a lot more games now. This is what this...
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit,
no. Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
This is what he's saying. Halo wasn't at the show. They got a lot more games now. Phil, let me explain something to you. You showed DLC to Flight Goddamn Simulator. You showed DLC to Elder Scrolls. Hell, you showed DLC to Sea of Goddamn Thieves. But you can't show Season 4 of Halo that drops this next week? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You showed old-ass service games getting all seasonal updates. Elder Scrolls, Sea of Thieves, Flight Simulator, DLC, DLC, DLC. Halo has DLC, and you don't talk about it because you got a lot more games now? What the hell are you talking about, you dumbass?
You're my #1 customer.
You tell me, here's his quote here. You're telling me, look at this son of a bitch. I wouldn't say Halo is of lesser importance, but we have over 20 studios now. I go back to years when we only had 4 games: Fable, Forza, Halo, and Gears. The 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. We have a lot more games now. It's true. The most recent showcase was one that actually showed the fruits of all the studios it's acquired over the last few years, even if not all of them are out this year. What are you talking about? We've been pretty public about the leadership change at 343. You kind of see that in some of the social things, been doing around seasons. But I don't want to force them to talk about their long-term vision until they're ready. Dude, they're just saying season 4, dude. But here it is. That they say it right here. It's more than understandable that 343 doesn't want to talk about what's not ready. But again, the trailer to season 4 of Halo Infinite dropped a couple of days ago. Only about a week after the showcase. So it's odd that they didn't show and highlight Halo at all. You want to know why? Because it's dead. And what they're doing is trying to pivot. They're trying to pivot Halo Infinite like it never existed. They've gutted the team. They gutted the campaign team. They're gutting the other team. They are gutting Halo Infinite like it never existed.
You're my #1 customer.
They're trying to erase it from existence so that they're able to do Halo spin-offs with all other developers. And look at this. Another pivot. They finally achieved seasonality. Remember, the seasons were 6 months, then 8 months, a year as a season. Now they're every 3 months. So the last season was in March, right? They still never talked about it, season 3 in March. Phil never put it as a highlight show in January. You know, when they had their, and nobody at Microsoft even highlighted season 3 coming. It was the first season of seasonality. Nope, nothing about season 3 in March, and we saw the numbers. They jumped up a couple thousand, like 5,000, and then dropped down again the day later. Well, season 4 is coming. Every season they do a Halo narrative. They're telling a story in the multiplayer about this virus or whatever like that. Well, according to him now, Brian Gerard, the last remaining person at 343, basically says that they are foregoing the narrative cutscene. So the narrative that went with each season, the storyline, there was like a big cutscene in the beginning and end of the season to kind of tie in this subliminal, this other story that's going on. So like there was some sort of story with the multiplayer because hell, they're not putting that trash in goddamn single player story. That thing's done, out to sea. Now they shifted again. They're focusing on requested features, content improved. Dude, in season 4,
You're my #1
they
customer.
actually put in friggin' infection mode. This game released over 2 years, about 2 years ago. They put infection mode in now. This game released in 2021. They put in infection mode in June of 2023. Infection mode. A mode that was stapled in every Halo game since it got created. Infection. Where one person has the... infection mode's been in everything. You know what infection mode is. This is what they did. Highly requested features. Every update that they put, is quality of life. Here you go. Again, another trade-off. Remember, no co-op? These trade-offs are never easy to make, and we appreciate your support as the team works to make Halo Infinite the best experience possible. While the job is far from over, Season 4 marks another big step forward. We remain committed to the journey and the Halo community. Dude, it is done. It is done. Hold the line.
End of the line. End of the line.
It's over, Chief. Pack your bags. It's done. Let me get these super chats here. The grind is going in here. Gundam78, man. He goes, let Chief just rest at this point. 343 sucks. Xbox is just smoke and mirrors. Garbage, says super chat nuts on chin. The Game Night 123 says they play more important in locking down 2 to 3 embargoes for Atlas games going to other platforms than focusing on Halo. Exactly. But Game Night, they gave updates to old-ass games. You telling me you don't have time to talk about Season 4 for Halo? Why? You want to know why? Smoke and mirrors, exactly what nuts on chin. Those are smart nuts. Again, he's saying they basically are making you not look at Halo. They're not leveraging Halo anymore. They want to forget about it because there's a lot of trouble there. When you bring up Halo, it's very sensitive. And nobody wants to hear. Remember, if we lose Halo, we lose our way. Yeah, nobody wants to hear how bad Halo's doing, so they keep it away. They lock it away in the dungeon, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're locking it away. They don't want to bring Halo up because it's not a nice story. He says, we're doing things. Not a nice story. They put Halo away. Thank you, Robert Lawrence, with 3 VIP grinders on our way to 20 to get that new emoji. Who got him? Who got him? Log Hog, welcome at VIP Grinder. Who else got it? Who just gave another one? Let me get another one. Brian East, the VIP Grinder. Thank you, Robert Lawrence. There you go, Brian. Flex those emojis. Thank you. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. He's green. There we go. But they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. Split screen is canceled, Ant. They canceled split screen. Split screen is canceled. Now, if you want to accept a gifted emoji, be sure that you hit that gift on there and it say accepted gifted emoji. So when we have awesome grinders giving out VIPs, you could get one. So make sure that you put up there. And if you want to pass it forward to everybody, man, gift those VIPs out there. Use those emojis, and we get those emojis in there. There it is. Brian East using the flames. We're going to get that Xbox tattoo tramp stamp emoji coming in. That'll be the next one that we're going to get into here. We're on our way. We need like 17 more VIPs, and we'll get a new emoji coming into the Grindhouse. But yeah, all this stuff, dude. Ron M! Flexing with the 5 gifted VIPs. Herman Holt splits in the house. Oh, man, Amanda gets it. Yes, thank you. Me first. VIP Rat. Talking about Halo Rat. I'm not calling Rat a Halo Rat, but man, Rat getting a sponsor, man, that's just personifies. You just made the list. Basically, Halo Rats. Oh my goodness. Feels like mission accomplished. Oh, Jesus. Thank you so much, Ron M. Awesome. VIPs. We're on our way there, man. We're on our way.
You just made the list.
Woohoo! Get him in there. Oh, man, I got it.
End of the line.
Oh, man. Get those VIPs in there.
Where's the lamb sauce? You just made the list.
They're all coming in now. But anyway, so like, I tell you, it is just crazy that
you just made the list.
Big Turbo, welcome to the VIPs. Thanks, Ron. The 30 frames per second stamp. That's what I'm going to do. A tattoo. I'm drawing the 30 frames per second. Man, I wish it were bigger.
The list.
Jeeves, welcome to the VIPs. Herman Holt splits. Quality splits in the house. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Awesome. We're on our way to get that new emojis. So, yeah, and then the other thing spinning off of the Halo news, did you see that, where is it here? What is it? Matt Booty Halo spin-offs. They are doing something, right? Where is it? Here it is. So I found it here, just regarding Halo, right? Rat made the list. There it is. So this is what they said. Remember there was rumors about how Microsoft was going to kind of farm out Halo? They're true. So Matt Booty said some updates here. Booty came out there. You know Booty, right? You know Booty makes the Xbox coffee. He makes that Xbox coffee real good, I guess.
Cool. This coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Matt Booty with his coffee, man. Here he comes. Talking more out his ass. Halo, he goes, yeah, Microsoft's lead franchise has seen its flagship studio 343 beset with leadership changes and major layoffs. A new generation of talent is now shaping Halo, and 343 will keep making Halo games, Booty says, talking out his ass. He goes, I feel confident that the leadership team, but the team that got us here is probably not the same team that's going to take us forward. Cuts were a byproduct of challenges across Microsoft and across Xbox. You don't say. Everybody said it was fine over there. It's fine. It takes 5 to 6 years to make games. The games come out with bad quality. No, it's fine. It's the engine. Trust the engine. Trust Phil. Mm-hmm. And here we are. Look what he says, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Cuts were bright, but challenged Microsoft. But Booty says the team's current smaller size is where at in the production phase. He praised new 343 hit Hines, whatever the hell, the Pierre Hines, having overseen cleanup work to complement the Halo games that launched rough in 2020 and 2014. Booty says, look at the quality of Master Chief Collection and know how that core team did a great job. Good Chief guys are broken for years. As for whether there's a new Halo game in development, Booty offered no words, just a long vowel sounding halfway between a long A and a long E. And he dodged the question. But he affirmed that 343 will continue to work on Halo, even though other outside studios may get involved. There you go. So they are doing, this is what they're doing. They getting a snack-sized team, like a new VIP, Amanda Pemberton said. They're getting a snack-sized team, and they're going to farm out this shit to other people, just like they're doing with Perfect Dark. They got a little hokey-dokey group at the initiative, and they're making the Bootleg Avengers Studios, Crystal Dynamics, make the game for them. And they're going to be a concierge to them, consultant. Same thing with Fable. Remember they were saying that Eidos was working on Eidos Montreal. We didn't see them, but there are rumors that Eidos was working with them. They're saying they want quantity, no longer big quality games. They want small sizes, frequent releases. And they want to break up Halo. They don't want the big man. Do you think you're getting a Halo 7? You're not getting no Halo 7. You're getting Halo you're going to get Halo the Twilight Zone. You're going to get little snippets of Halo, different interpretations of a story. This is what you're getting. Another new team, a small team, small passion projects with the Halo franchise, and they'll oversee it. Just like they oversaw Redfall. They'll oversee it. They want quantity, a production studio. And look, they're taking the theatrics out of the seasons. They were supposed to have season stories and events. And like that will tie into the season pass. You know how they do like those little CGI videos where they tie it into the battle pass? Like, hey, this armor that's in the CGI video that's telling a story over a bunch of seasons, well, that's gone. And we know what Halo got reviewed as, right? 86 is, oh, yeah, it's okay. It didn't have co-op. It's coming in season 2. It should be 3 months, they said. Turned out to be 6. A year and a half, 7, 8. It turned out to be a year. But they gave it an 86 anyway. Halo couldn't fit in their showcase. But Sea of Thieves, Elder Scrolls, and Flight Simulator all had seasonal updates. Not even the week after. Halo was the most, you want to play something now? Here it is. Remember Phil said, hey, you're going to leave that show to, ray tracing, right, Kratos? The ray trace shadows only on PC. But Phil said, we're going to show you what you're going to play now, right? Halo Season 4 would have been probably a good thing because that's something you'll be playing now. Why would you show Flight Simulator 2024? You got a lot of people waiting to fly the same goddamn plane next year? And who's asking for Dune planes, Phil? That deserves to fly Paris to goddamn Budapest? Fly goddamn Paris to 343 and find out what the hell is going on with Halo. He lives in LA. Let him go right there, 343. But we're going to fly him out to Budapest to go type DLC to goddamn Flight Simulator. That is an after show. Because remember, Halo Season 4 not only wasn't at the showcase, it wasn't even in the after show. The show extended. The one where they were showing all the tattoos. That show that I covered on Friday. Halo couldn't fit into that one either. But what could was flying Paris to Budapest and talk 20 minutes, 25 to 15 minutes on DLC plane coming sometime whenever the hell. But you can't talk Halo. Hellblade didn't show combat, exactly. No time for Halo. All lies, dude. All lies. They don't want to bring attention to Halo because Halo is not doing too hot. How? Do you believe that Xbox killed Halo? Phil Spencer and his crew of Mickey Mouse folk destroyed franchises. Like there's nobody, all these Bleed Green podcasts and stuff, I just can't believe how you are really Xbox fans. And you could sit here and watch them destroy franchises that you grew up playing. And it's not destroying them where they're just not hitting what the cool kids are playing. They are making no one want to play these games. Full-ass Halo channels are scrounging around going, what the hell do I cover now? They destroyed Halo. Even after Halo 4, people still wanted to play Halo. Hell, even after Halo 5, people still wanted to play Halo. They just wanted it better. They wanted a better campaign. They wanted a better stuff. They wanted to play more as Master Chief. Hell, Crackdown 3. They destroyed it for the cloud. They put Terry Crews in there. You bringing them back for Crackdown 4? What are we doing here? What are you doing? You're destroying the franchises that make your brand. That's like Nintendo just shitting on Mario. Nintendo just killing out Zelda. Imagine Nintendo destroyed Zelda in this last game. And you look, and this is the thing. You look at what Nintendo and Sony are doing with their IP. Their IP is stronger than ever. And Microsoft doesn't even have an identity anymore. Because they killed the thing that brought them to where they were 22 years later. How can you sit here and champion this regime of leadership at Microsoft, watching them single-handedly destroy the game that probably makes you play on an Xbox, from the game that made you want to start your channel, the game that made you want to bleed green, the game that made you want to go and meet with friends and do LAN parties. That game, they destroyed it, that it is not even worthy of their annual showcase. 343, Phil Spencer, and Matt Booty killed the things that you love. And you still shake their hand, take pictures with them, champion the brand now, and say it's better? With what? Other people's games? How? I can't believe what they did to Halo. I can't believe it. And I remember when Halo was going to save Xbox. Look what it did. They hid the gameplay. They hid the story. No DLC, no campaign, nothing. It ended in a cliffhanger that he was going to another biome. We didn't even get the same. We got the same Halo pipe cleaner trees and biome. There was no snow. There was no dirt. There was no sand. There was no tropical forest. There was no space. There was no combat in space. There was no other planets. Nothing. You were on a bare-ass goddamn pipe cleaner tree, broken-ass Halo ring. Going in through plain Forerunner structures that were just metal flat sheets of gray and blue. Grabbing seeds and plugging them in. Fighting old-ass brutes, and still the Covenant. To this day, why, I don't know, but the Covenant are still around. No explanation, no new enemies. Forerunners, who are they? You're fighting the same old shit with the same old weapons. Halo's had you going around to spaceships, space combat. Halo Reach had you fighting in the sky. From the ground, going on a space carrier, going to different planets, volcanoes, snow areas, beaches, tropical rainforests. And there's no content coming. In the multiplayer either. Nothing. But you know what? Don't let me tell you. Don't let me tell you.
Yes, it's me again, Mr. Chief. I told you a few months ago that I was leaving 343 and going back to Bungie, back where I belonged, where people cared about me when I inherited. No, it's nothing. I'm forgotten. The people that built me have left me out in space to die. And I can't believe I was once the face of this brand of Xbox. And now I can't even be part of their showcase. So I don't know where to go from here. It really is a shame that Sea of Thieves gets more time than goddamn Halo. Elder Scrolls, fucking Flight Simulator, on the goddamn Xbox, face of the brand. And you make Flight Simulator have more time than me. Let me tell you something. I need everyone to remember what Master Chief brought to you. The joy of multiplayer, the suspenses, of single-player campaigns that exploring the mysterious story of the Forerunners and where I belonged, and why Katana was what I needed. Remember the good old days, everybody, because I'm never coming back. I am dead. Phil Spencer and his Mickey Mouse crew have killed me. I am not even worthy of a showcase. I have a season 4 coming out in 4 days, and they couldn't give me 4 minutes of a stage time to talk about my season. Talk about infection mode 2 years later. And nobody's talking about me. I surf YouTube. In space, we get good cell phone reception. I'm looking at all these Xbox podcasts, and nobody's talking about me. Master Chief. They don't care about Halo. They don't. So, if you're out there, and I know the Grindhouse cares, just remember the good old days. And hopefully, it can bring a smile to your face. So with that, thank you, Gaming Grindos. And episode 117, Spartan 117, says, Spartans never die. They just live on in your memories because Phil Spencer and crew have killed the Halo brand, and they have killed Mr. Chief. Grinders of the Grindhouse, episode 117. While Spartan 117 says, Chief out.
Wow. That really, it brought a tear to my eye. Insane how upset Master Chief sounds here. Episode 117 goes to you, Chief of the Gaming Grindhouse. Episode 117 to you, Chief. We will never forget you. Although Phil and the Mickey Mouse crew have, we will never forget you. You're my favorite franchise. And it grinds me up so bad. It makes me want to do another 117 episodes of how they destroyed Halo. Destroyed it. Made it irrelevant. Because of goddamn Game Pass and whatever the hell they want to do. Cloud, grabbing ass, whatever the hell they want to do. Insane. It really pisses me off. Seriously. That was like you know, it's imagine like you guys, if you had, think of your favorite franchises and think about, you know, you want to share that with your kids or just remember and reminisce and stuff like that, and just think about you get laughed at if you bring up it now because the company that owns it has made a disgrace of it, that it's a joke. I like Halo. You get laughed at now. I should, Mr. Tennis. I should. 6 more years. Brian's keeping count. 6 more years of Halo left. Oh, Jesus. How much more are they going to take away? You know what? They're like, you know what? Our priorities have shifted. We're going to go away from the armors now. We're gonna embrace Paramount Plus, Master Chief, and just gonna let your characters run around bare ass. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the assets now for us to make all these new armors and stuff. It's too much work for us at 343. We're just gonna take some more stuff away. We're gonna shift our priorities again and just work on the environments. But we're not gonna make any armor. So all the Chiefs now, all the Spartans are gonna run around bare ass. It's canon because of Paramount Plus Season 1. Chief roll around bare ass. Why don't we just have our characters run around bare ass? Those armor assets take up too much time. You know what's happening. with this whole thing, why they're pivoting and stuff. That battle pass sucks balls, and they're not getting enough money with their Halo revenue here. They gave out a game for free that sucked, that nobody wants to play, and probably nobody's buying that battle pass. So they don't have the funds or the monetization to prove worthy to throw more investment in the game. We've seen this with service games all over the place. The service dries up, and guess what? The content does too. Usually the content dries up, the service doesn't succeed. Well, here you go. Hit that like button, grind. We got 300 people in here. We're going into another one that we're going to be on the precipice, and we're going to be talking about this one probably next year, saying the same thing. And that is our good old friends at Starfield. Yes. Hit that like button as we get into Starfield damage control. Dudes. My goodness, my goodness. Let me tell you something here. If I've ever seen capping, the hats are got to be huge. 30 frames. I've said this so many times already. Redfall was the fall guy for 30 frames in Bethesda games. Phil Spencer wined and dined everybody. He finessed everybody. 30 frames per second, Redfall was inexcusable. How dare they not have it at launch? Redfall was the fall guy because Phil knew Starfield wasn't coming in over 30 frames on consoles. He knew it. So they said, ship Redfall with 30 frames, send out that tweet, we'll get the heat for it. I'll pretend like I'm crying saying we suck. All the time, because that's good for gamers. I have to go tell everybody we suck. We're never gonna win.
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true.
It's not true. And get on there, Phil.
Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah, just get out there and just say how you suck. Okay, good. And then we'll let Redfall hit it for 30 frames. And it wasn't 30 frames ever. It was 30 frames not at low. It was 30 frames at launch. 60 frames coming later. Which, by the way, nobody cares. Nobody knows. It's on track. When? Who knows? Again, honesty, Phil. Transparency. Get the trust of the gamers. Yeah, I guess. Redfall gets a hit. And now Starfield gets this damage control. Oh, it's because the sandwiches. 30 frames because of sandwiches and the physics-based stuff. Well, let me tell you a story. Here we go.
I agree with that, John.
Listen to this intro from these guys. Flown out to go play with the magnets of the Series X, hyping up the most powerful console in the world. They were the leaders of this talk. Oh my God. The 12 teraflops, the Hovis method, the vapor chambers, the dude with the beard gave me cereal at the Xbox break room. The magnets. This console is huge. It's so powerful. What are they going to do with the Series X? And Mama, Digital Foundry got first hands on and broke the hardware news. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hear the words coming out of their mouth now. These guys count pixels. Well, it's rendering at 1300p upscale to 1440p. It is counting a few cents shy of it's 1396p, a little shy. There's some chromatic aberrations. If I zoom in 500%, you could see that there's a little haze on the leaves in the background. And, this Xbox doesn't have that, but the PlayStation has the haze, and Xbox don't have the haze. They got ray trace shadows, and look in the distance of the pop-in. And let me zoom in 1,000% and check this out. These same guys, listen to them talk about 60 frames and 30 frames. Who this?
Why is it okay for a game like Starfield to be 30 frames per second, but then another game you might cover you would expect to be 60? And I think this is part of the conversation that's often lost. And it's somewhat of a nuanced topic because the frame rate of a game is I've always maintained an actual design decision. Hardware going back to the 80s has no problem executing games at 60 frames per second, right? Like that's always been the case. It all comes down to what the developer's trying to do, basically the maximum frame rate they can achieve their vision with. Starfield is a very large scale open universe game, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
That is designed for object permanence and just managing so many different interlocking systems to create this like wholly immersive experience. And we've seen this.
I got a holy for you. I got a holy for you right now. I got one for you right now. Holy shit.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
A nuance,
Spirit, activate. Activate.
a design
Activate.
choice. What are we doing here? What the fuck was the design choice? When there are drop frame, when there are frames, they're calling up developers going, guys, I don't know what the frame rate is. It's all over the place. Is that a design choice? No, that's a design choice. Our frame rate's supposed to go from 30 to 40 to 45. That's the design choice. You know? It's our preference. Well, you said the game is at 14. Well, it's designed 1300p. It's this game, and it's running 14. What the hell's wrong with you? You made a career of showing the lacking of 4K, the checkerboarding, the frame rate variations in VRR and all that other shit. Now, frame rate is a design choice? Well, then I guess you're not Digital Foundry. You're digital douches. Because all you're doing is criticizing the game, the developer's design choice. Digital Foundry, you make your career off of critiquing games for what they're technically doing, calling glitches and chromatic aberrations and all this stuff. Never once did I hear, hey, it's a design choice. No, it's like I got to call the devs to tell them their game's messed up. What the hell? A design choice? This is an open world space game? Well, then guess what? What's the excuse for No Man's Sky? No Man's Sky, you could see a planet from the space, leave that planet and drive and fly to a mountain range that you see from your other planet without a load screen. At 60 frames. Shit, in VR at 120 frames, bitch. What design choice is that? What the hell are we doing here?
Stuff in their prior games as well. But
this is Digital Foundry saying that it's a design choice. Then guess what? Shut your channel down, bitch. Shut it all down. Because I don't understand. If you're critiquing design choices as technical analysis, then what is your problem? Like, what is the issue here? You shouldn't even have a channel to critique this thing because it's not even a technical capabilities. It's design choices. So are you an artist critic? Like, are you an autistic critic? What are you doing? Like, what is your purpose now if everything that's chosen, the frames per second, the drop frames, the chromatic aberration, the resolutions, you went into the whole, like, 4K native and not really 4K, but it's 1300K, where's up to 4K? That's your career. That's your monetization. That's how you make your living. How the hell is frame rate the thing that you keep to the end? Remember? Performance is always near the end of their showcase, of their video analysis, the end. How? Why would you even critique performance when the frame rate is a choice, a creative choice?
Obviously, it's been expanded. And on Twitter, I mentioned this, the sandwich conversation, right? In the direct, there was this joke about how one of the developers was a sandwich pirate. They were stealing sandwiches, dropping them on a table, and they showed that. And everybody laughed. It was a goofy little thing. But I think that's something that's really important that deserves kind of a clarification, because their games are designed to store the object position of any random item that you can pick up within the game world. This is a big task, right? You can drop anything.
So wait, it's storing in memory a disappearing sandwich. It's not like, yeah, Brian, it's not like the sandwich is physically in a pocket somewhere that you're running around with a bunch of sandwiches in your pouch. The sandwich is gone. It is storing the location of the sandwich in your, your menu screen? How does that explain the frame rate lock? And to put it even further, if you want to see Creation Engine that's tied, the animations and everything are tied to the frame rates, they're locked on PC to 60 frames per second. Why is it 30 frames on console? That still doesn't answer why it's 30 frames on console. It's 60 frames. It could be 60. Is it locked 30 frames on PC? I don't think so. And no, what's crazy is that actually Fallout 4, didn't it get a frames per second boost when we were boosting games to 60 frames at 1080p? Yes, it did. So this whole, they can't do 60 frames on consoles in a Bethesda game is bullshit, because they did it with frames per second boost for Fallout 4. The special editions and all that other crap. The upgraded. The 1X. The boost. And if that's the way that they're doing that, if they find that positioning sandwiches hurts performance, then that's a bad game design. That's antiquated game design. That shouldn't be an excuse. That should be a WTF. That's what that should be. That's like, who's wasting resources doing objects? It's not even like the objects have all physics, like that they're all over the place, flying all over. The sandwich disappears. And what the hell does that have to do with shooting guns in a hallway? If I dump 20 sandwiches on a dude's table in space, what does that have to do with me shooting people in the hallway, and why is that locked to 30 frames? It makes no sense. The logic's not there. That does not explain the performance.
And it has physics properties assigned to it, and that location is then stored. This is actually something not new for Creation Engine games, and in fact, it goes back to something like Morrowind.
So Morrowind was doing this. Dude, Morrowind was doing the same thing. So how, with all the technology that we have now, the teraflops of power that we have now, how is something so basic that Morrowind did it on the OG Xbox and PCs of that time, and they can't do it now? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is nothing new. This is the problem that I have with this Starfield conversation and damage control. Starfield is doing nothing new. It is using old-ass tech and just trying to give it a fresh coat of paint. It is old-ass tech with a fresh coat of paint. They're not doing anything new. I said the ambition of No Man's Sky, of where you could fly all over and go right to the dark side of the planet, the sunset side of the planet. You could see an island and fly right to it. What do we do? They did not show anything new there. There's load screens in between landing on planets, load screens in between doorways. The characters have the old-ass animations from the Fallout games before that. Weird animations. They're not doing AI routines. They're not eating and drinking and doing in a living city. Dude, the guys are walking around just doing stuff. They're standing in a room waiting for you to talk to you. You open up a door, the guy's just standing there waiting for you. Like, I'll give you your mission. He's not cleaning bathrooms and shit. He's not doing anything. They're not running on AI routines, dude. They're not doing anything. There's nothing new in this game that was shown that's like, oh, man, they're pushing the tech. There's nothing. You just disclaimed the whole reason why this game cannot be it. And you're talking about not be 60 frames. What happened to options? What happened to Redfall? Unacceptable. Not having a 60 frames at launch. To Starfield never having a 60 frames on console. How is that acceptable? Hell, the dashboards of the PlayStation have performance mode and fidelity mode. Ever since we have the next gen mid refreshes. There have been performance and quality modes. It's inside the operating system menu. Choose what you want, fidelity or performance mode when you open up your game. It's on the PlayStation 1. It's an expectation. And the same people were talking about Sony streaming 4K 30 in their showcases, showing fidelity. Oh, Horizon's going to be 30. They're not shipping with a 60 frame mode. Ratchet and Clank is going to be 60. It's not going to be 60. What? And all these dudes are going to play it on PC anyway, because that's the problem. This damage control for Series X, not talking about the S, that's another problem. The Series X not having a performance mode on one of their first-party games, second $70 game for the year, not having a performance mode from Bethesda is messed up. The most powerful console not having a performance mode in their $70 games, their first round of $70 games. Nobody, he didn't play this game. He didn't see the sandwich bullshit. He didn't do the sandwiches. He didn't shoot a whole bunch of stuff off of a table. He didn't do all that. But why would that matter? Why would that matter when you're just fighting on a planet?
Where I remember my younger sister took over, who was
No, I don't want to hear it.
You actually went back into
and that's the other thing.
Pixel count.
Talking about this game, this game's combat is primarily shooting. They showed all the guns. This is a shooting game.
For this game to determine the actual rendering resolution.
Mm-hmm. And here, yeah, I counted one specific shot. And basically,
look at these character models. What is this game doing?
This shot here, if you look at the background, you can see that it's actually running at an internal resolution that is below 4K, and it appears to be being temporarily upscaled up to 4K. And that internal resolution I counted was 1296p, which would be like FSR2 balance mode, which is actually qualitatively, it's pretty okay. I mean, obviously it could be better. It's not DLSS or something like that, but that's kind of what it seems. So it seems like it's not a native 4K presentation in the trailer necessarily, but an upscaled 4K. And it did look rather crisp, to say the least. Yeah.
Right. Crisp? It's not even 4K.
Yeah.
If we went with that for Series S, we could assume then that might be 864p as an internal resolution, right?
That would sound right if they did. Yeah, we don't have any Series S footage, but that's a good guess. Yeah.
So
they're thinking that the X is 13 whatever p, not 4K, and then the S will be 800p. I'm telling you, the reason why there is no performance modes on these Xbox games is because of the Series S. It's the S, 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 it's the S. That's the reason. It's everything I said on this friggin' channel that the Xbox Series S was going to hurt the generation. And it is. And Phil and friends don't care. They don't care because they are releasing a black one pre-ordered in September when Starfield comes out. Get a new S to play shit-ass Starfield at 800p. Because we make money on the cheap-ass console. Don't go buy that Xbox Series X because that one, we don't make money on that one. Buy the stupid Series S, the worst we said it. The S is holding back these guys. Their first party, think about it. If they're running 800p at 30 frames per second, because he said 1440p. He's thinking like, dude, it would probably look at like 500p. It'll look unplayable in performance mode on the S. It's S and the Game Pass. There's that bit rate. That's what it is. Let me get these super chats here. Nuts on Chin coming back. He says, The Last of Us verified on the deck, my sir. There you go. Get that at 60 frames on the Steam Deck. Let's talk about like games that don't have performance mode. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Sony did this, If Sony said that God of War is not having a performance mode, oh my gosh. Oh my God. The $70 games, PlayStation's SSD. Dude, just because they put a game on PC, there was a whole crap about like, the SSD of the PlayStation. Meanwhile, they're defending not having a performance mode on a next-gen console on the most powerful console. Enrique says the sandwiches are the cause for the load times. Yeah, exactly. Like the sandwiches. That's what they're saying.
Well, again, though, I think expecting native 4K, even at 30 frames per second, is a big ask for these machines. Screen resolution.
Mm-hmm. And here, yeah, I counted one specific shot.
Look at this. Look at this guy. Like, you're telling me, oh, well, this is sharp. Look at the textures. Look at this guy's hair. Look at this. This is something that needs to, oh, well, this looks really impressive. Look at this. Look at the hair. Like, I don't need a goddamn Digital Foundry to tell me that this looks like, this is just the frame. This is not even at 1440p. He said it looks sharp. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this. What is this character model from? This? Oh, I see why it's 30 frames. Are you kidding me? They're acting like Starfield's Horizon Forbidden West. I cannot yell more. I can't be as frustrated as I can for these excuses. Are you kidding me? They are calling Starfield, before nobody played this shit, they're calling this a generational game. No. Horizon Forbidden West is a goddamn generational game. And nobody wanted to give that game credit. Are you kidding me? The stuff that Horizon's doing, the way it looks, running at 60 frames, that DLC, fighting that enemy at the end on the full screen in 60 frames, are you kidding me? That is a generational game. That is tech that has not been done before. But you're looking at this trash right here and going, well, it's not even at 4K. And I can see why it's at 30 frames. Are you kidding me? Look at these characters. Look at these textures. What are you talking about? Look at his hands. Look at this. They look like friggin' smooth-ass sausages. What are we doing here? Go get the shirt from the Grindhouse store. Because this is ridiculous. Look at this. Look at the beer bottle. It looks like a plastic strap-on. This is supposed to be glass? Is this supposed to be glass, Digital Foundry? We're talking about sandwiches and tracking them. Is this supposed to be a glass bottle? Because this looks like some plastic goddamn rubber thing. This is the, look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy back here. Look at this screen. Look at this scene. I can't. Like, what in the hell? I don't understand. Like, you looking at this scene, and it's like, oh, yeah. This is, here. I want to hear. Well, wait, where's this? We're here. Let's go here. Watch this. Let's hear what they have to say.
Fair. Well, let's be clear. The news is good. It does manage to deliver a mostly stable 60 frames per second throughout the run of play. Yes, there are blips here and there, but...
Oh, but what? Wait, the design choice. What are you talking about, blips? That shouldn't be a comment.
Overall, it's remarkably smooth most of the time. In fact, the one time I did run into an area with noticeable dips, I wasn't actually capturing and was not able to...
You're my #1 customer!
...on a later attempt. Which means the usual open world caveat can apply here. You should expect stable performance in most circumstances, but know that it is possible to drop the frame rate on occasion. Still, by and large, they've been very successful in implementing the performance mode in this version of the game.
It's the first time Guerrilla has shipped a brand new game with a proper, smooth 60 frames per second mode. And no, I don't count the unlocked frame rate in Shadowfall, as it only runs at 60 on a PS5.
Oh, really? What happened to design choice? You're not counting. Do we hear that statement, Grinders? Do you hear this bias right in front of your face? Do you hear this? This is the first 60 frames per second game that Guerrilla has shipped. I'm not counting the unlocked game frame because that's only on a PS5. Who are you? Really?
Quality mode then is much the same, delivering a stable 30 frames per second throughout.
He sounds very critical of the performance mode, that it's a design decision. Don't you think? He seems pretty critical for a design decision. You know, like he seems very, very particular about little blips and jinx and what he considers a true 60 performance mode only shipped by Guerrilla. Mm-hmm. Oh, really? What happened to it's a creative decision? What happened to, like, why don't I just don't talk about it? Because it's the creative design of what they're going to do with my frame rate.
Out with even frame pacing. Any dips or drops were limited to single frames here or there, but it was very
This is
very
generational.
Stable. But there is a little more to talk about, specifically with the cutscenes. This ties directly into the issue I mentioned earlier, and the frame rate graph basically reveals what's going on there and why it can appear somewhat stuttery in motion. Those frame cuts produce both visual errors as well as actual pauses, as you can see on the frame time graph. In addition, during cutscenes specifically, we did actually note some GPU related drops when using the game's performance mode.
Oh, did you?
Honestly though, as has become increasingly common this generation, frame rate analysis is really only useful to confirm that the developers have hit their target frame rates. And that's great news for the player, honestly. But the other aspect of performance I want to quickly mention are the loading times. Now, we'll get more into this during our comparison video against PlayStation 4, but long story short, it does exactly what you'd expect. Whether loading a save or using the fast travel system, the wait times are kept to a minimum.
Oh. But we're here looking at this game. There's blips. Blips! 60 frames per second got a blip, dude. Major issue. One frame in a cutscene. Let's talk about it. Whole ass game is not even getting a 60 frames per second mode. It's a design decision. There are some blips. We got to talk about it. We got some blips in a 60 frames per second mode in a game. Do you understand, like, a game that looks like this? Like, this is what you're looking at here. Like, look at this game and look at this game. Like, look at the two of these games. Like, look at this.
And
what the hell's going on here? Like, look at this. This is a cutscene. This is gameplay. This game is getting an excuse for why they can't put a performance mode in it, but this one got a blip at 60 frames? Like, the same energy? Like what are you talking about? What happened to the open world? Look at all the enemies. Look at the size of the enemies that you're fighting in Horizon Forbidden West. And this was a cross-gen game. This was a cross-gen game. What the hell is he showing here? Look at the fighting that you're doing. Look at this stuff. And look at this. This came out a year and a half ago. Like, do you understand? Like, look at here. Look. And what I'm trying to say is if the game was doing something like this, or Horizon looking better than this, oh, well, yeah, maybe we're ahead of its time and all the other. But when you got this game running at 60 frames and then giving excuses for this thing and not even at 4K, like, what are you doing?
And basically, this shot here, if you look at the background, you can see that it's actually...
Whatever your name is,
get
get ready for the big surprise.
Look at this. This is acceptable for a Xbox only exclusive game, 12 teraflops. This
running at an internal resolution.
You just made the list.
4K, and that on the top right-hand corner next to GPU, it says the GPU utilization percentage, and there it's 99%. And that means the GPU is the limiting factor here. It's running close to 60 FPS, above 60 FPS almost on this PC. That's good. But the game isn't all these type of barren planets. A large part of the game in Star Citizen is also, like we saw in the Starfield trailer, you go to like larger cities. And there, when I go to those areas in Star Citizen, I'm going to show, there's a couple clips here where one
scenes, and it's so full of variety because you do have these sort of like wasteland like planets to futuristic.
Yeah, you know what I'm not seeing? You know, something that was very critical of remember the dudes that came out and were talking about how plants and leaves and trees and grass doesn't move with your character? Let's look at his legs here. Is this all interactive grass, or is he just botting through it?
You do have these sort of like wasteland like planets to
is he not interacting with that grass that's on the ground? Remember they were doing it with Ratchet, and they were like, "Well,
genuinely describe as attractive and beautiful."
Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful shots in the entire direct.
It's a dude standing there looking at
just
things.
The cities, these landscapes, the metallic materials, and all those different things coming together to create these just gorgeous scenes. And it's so full of variety because you do have
we'll see his grass.
These sort of like wasteland like planets to futuristic nightclubs and cities of glass and metal. Futuristic nightclubs and cities of glass.
The fuck? Oh, fuck out of here. I can't.
Oh, and second on
gorgeous scene.
Games are coming fast. 12 minutes in Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, like a Requiem. Want to play first and want to play last.
What the fuck? He's wearing space thong heads. What is this? What is this? The nightclub. Is this why? Is this guy in the friggin' man thong the reason why you can't get 60 frames? Is this the explanation? Is this an explanation? We only need one dude in a thong. We only have a man thong in here. What is this thing? Is this an alien? Is this the reason why this guy right here? Sir, are you the reason why in your man thong? Are you in your banana hammock? Are you the reason why your dance moves are too many frames for us on console? Phil, what was that again? I think there was a quote from 2019 that I think didn't listen here. Let me hear about it. Let me hear. I think I have to hear about this thing. Where is it, Phil? You said something, I think, years ago. Where is it?
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first-party output.
That's always been a hit on the company.
They're doing better now, are they?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say always. Like I think we've gone through times
not to
where we've
throw
done
mud. On
what is this?
That's a fair. I think fair to say.
It is fair to say. And
this dude just came out again, the tramp stamp from the thing. Holy jeez, at the Xbox Fan Fest. What is this? The lushly here. Listen to this guy talking about this game and then showing gameplay. Look at this. What? This game is already getting the Halo Infinite treatment. It's getting the whole it's a Todd Howard game, it's a Bethesda game, so it's gonna have the jank, it's gonna have the 30 frames, but it looks great. Listen, honestly, there are some cool scenes where a dude's standing there with some nice backdrops. But he's not shooting. He's not running. And do you walk everywhere? Do you have a? Are you just walking through these barren planets? Like, is there any kind of like mode of transport, like a car or a bike? Or are you just walking around barren planets? Because that looks boring. Because that's all they showed was just a guy standing around walking in open planets. JX Gundam with the 2, he goes, Jez, guarantee no one plays Starfield as DOA. Yeah, on Xbox. You're right, GX. It's a PC modded paradise, and you got a lot of Bethesda fanboys out there who are just gonna know that they're just gonna get in this game and they're gonna up-res, they're gonna add all new characters to here, they're gonna fix the textures, they're gonna fix his game. He knows that. That's exactly where this game thrives, and those are the people that are defending this. They just know that they're going to fix this game. They'll unlock the frame rate if it's locked. They're gonna fix it on PC. So if you're gonna get Starfield, go buy it on Steam PC. Done. Xbox is proven that that's not the place to play. $7 billion later, and Starfield is not even worth it on an Xbox. It's not even hitting 4K and not going to have a 60 frames per second mode. It'll have 60 frames on PC. They'll lock it, but at least they have a 60 frames on PC. So $7 billion of Phil Spencer's money couldn't get Xbox a win with Starfield. They should have just kept it multi-platform. That's it. Geo Knows Gaming, what's up, man? He goes, only one of those games is on Game Pass, though. Exactly. Game Pass and Phil Ness. Listen to this guy talk about this again.
Metallic materials and all those different things.
There are some parts, like this guy's outfit looks decent. This looks good. But look at this dude here. Like, what the hell is this?
These landscapes.
You mean this one tree why is it indoors?
The metallic materials and all this.
Look at this guy back here. Look at these textures.
Different things coming together to create these just gorgeous.
See, that looks decent, but what is this? Where's the player? Is this photo mode? What is this? Is this a cinematic load-in when you land on a planet? Like, you got to ask, like, this is what happens when you show swipes and cuts of people just walking around, because that's all they showed. It was like a lot of just walking around.
I feel like
that's a cut scene. This is probably when you take off. Like, see, there's a lot of cut scenes. This is probably when you land.
Had some elements that
look at this. We talked about the beaches. Look at, what are they, like, what is this? How excuses are being made for this? Look at this. What is this? This looks horrible. This looks horrible. Look at this. Like, come on. What is that? I just don't get it. The excuses for this. This looks horrible. Look at the size of this friggin' beach ball. What the hell is this?
Nice, but they never quite did it for me.
What is that? Is that a cutscene?
But this time, I feel
that's a cutscene.
They've made changes to the.
What is this? If I'm controlling this guy, what camera is this? Is this like third person pull out? What is this? Like, see, this is what I mean. Like, what is this? Is this gameplay? Is this a cinematic that it came up to this crater? What is this? This is not gameplay. What is this?
The way they handle their rendering that produces something that I would genuinely describe as attractive and beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful shots in the entire Direct, actually. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just this.
Oh, you mean that this incredible looking waterfall right here?
Yeah,
this water.
Number one customer.
You mean this water coming down, or whatever this is?
Just the cities, these landscapes, the metallic materials, and all those different things coming together to create these just gorgeous.
That's cinematic,
scenes, and
right?
It's so full of variety because you do have these sort of like wasteland, like planets to futuristic nightclubs and cities of glass and metal, populated areas, sparse areas.
Mhm.
You know, you're inside these retro future spaceships, all this stuff, and everything looks fantastic. But we also,
and we don't know if is this the game you're going to play too.
so, you know, we're thinking about, so how do they actually achieve the look and feel of these environments? And that's where I want to get into the graphical features of Starfield. And we have a list here of things that kind of went through. Alex, you assembled some talking points for us.
Yeah.
And the first one on the list, I think, is actually the game's real-time global illumination.
42 in the video when they're showing off this outlaw city, and they show like kind of like a market underneath an overhang. And if you look around there, like behind the people, behind those, or Todd Howard's like, instead of saying you can go to that mountain, he says you can go to that moon. But anyways,
that was good.
That was
I
good.
enjoyed that moment.
But here they're on the dark side, on the backside of like a mountain or a hill, and it's overcast with shadow. And in to the right of that, adjacent to it, you can see what looks to be a gas giant. You're on a moon orbiting a gas giant. And usually in a game without GI, this area would be completely pitch black. And the thing is, whatever GI solution they're using here,
right?
Yep.
But
as well too, to me this looks like real-time cube maps that are being used.
yeah, I think that's necessary there, because without that, the reflection would go quickly out of alignment with the background.
Oh,
Like,
we're not talking
technically,
ray
if you
tracing
say
anymore. Now we're
use
back
like
to
a
cube maps are good.
Like
Oh,
if you map
cube
your
maps?
room inside of a cube and the cube map is mapped around that, it can be more easily lined up. but
Oh,
they can't
so no
do
more
that
ray tracing. Now
for
we're doing
every-
cube mapping. I'm flabbergasted. I don't even know where to begin. I can't even. I don't even know what we're doing here. I can't even follow this anymore. This is driving me crazy.
Modern games, because worlds aren't usually this big, is like super long range usually, and that's stuff you see in the trailer as well too. For example, at 2813 they use that for like more like indoor environments a lot, where like you can see like volumetric lighting, and it's stuff that you see in a lot of modern games. But one thing that's less common in modern games, because worlds aren't usually this big, is like super long range volumetric fog, and you can see that really well at 3252 in the trailer. It's something that we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2. I believe it's also to a degree in Horizon, the second Horizon game, Forbidden West.
It is in Horizon Forbidden West as well. It's all this like sort of height fog and this valley fog. And yeah, that's really important, I think, for representing this atmosphere of everything at a distance was lacking any sort of proper lighting, fogging. You know, there was no shadows. Everything just looked flat. It just falls apart. And I think that they could have done so much more for it if they had just taken these things into account. Not to say it's easy. See,
I would love to see that.
All those emissive lights. Well, what should be emissive lights actually emitting light, right?
Yeah.
But still, even without it, it looks.
So for all these physics fanatics,
like
where
I
want to
throughout
know
this trailer,
for all these physics, all the stuff that's going on. So why does sandwiches on a moon matter here when this guy's running around in this room right here shooting and stuff? What does sandwiches on a moon deal with this? And do you see like computer screens blowing up and things moving all over the place and
You
physics,
just made the list!
Physics particles and splat? Like, where's this guy shooting through here? Like, all this stuff falling off the table? Not even a assassination stuff? Like, I don't understand right now. And tell me right here, oh, this don't need to be 60 frames because it's a different type of game. Look at the combat. What is the combat, everybody? What is the combat? Watch this combat and tell me why. Oh, but it's not that kind of game. I could see it not being 60 frames. Dude, I don't care. But look, like, tell me it's not that game. Okay. Look. Oh, it doesn't need to be 60. Look at the combat. Jesus. Look, you saw that, right? Oh, these kind of games don't need to be 60 frames. There should be no performance mode. Dude, are you like hitting people with swords and sticks? Are you walking around just talking to people? Or does it look like you're playing a first-person shooter? Aiming down scopes, jumping around, flying around, going in corridors, melee third-person shooting. Look at this. I would say, oh, there should be a performance mode in there. Look at the combat. It's a shooter. It's a shooter. It's an open exploration shooting game. Look at all the guns. It's a shooter. Look, third person, first person. It's a shooter. Not to have a performance mode. And that's the thing. 30 frames, 60 frames, you could play whatever you want. But the expectation of these generation of consoles is 60 frames, having a performance mode. Why isn't there a performance mode on the Series X? That's the question. And that's the one that everybody's giving excuses for. Oh, no, it don't have to be. Look at what it's doing. What is it doing? Precision reticle. Exactly. Niku, like, exactly. Josh, like, look at the combat. You tell me. You tell me what this game should be. Like, there are cool scenes. There are interesting parts. Like, some things I want to say. But, like, this whole, like, explanation for why this shouldn't have a performance mode. Like, what are you talking about? Game Night 123, telling the truth right here. He goes, if PlayStation released a game like this, I would be more concerned and not full of praise for textures or whatever the hell Digital Foundry is on. Exactly. What is this game doing that gives it an explanation? It's because Todd Howard's blowing smoke up everybody's ass. Like, why is there explanations being done? Didn't you learn from Halo Infinite? Oh, well, they said they're not going to have it at launch. You got duped already by this company. True Witty, what's up, man? Member of 14 months VIP goes, you flow off the planet into space in Star Wars Outlaws at 4K 60. How is that possible? And the enemies are so smart. No way, it's crazy. And Digital Foundry has no words. No. Other games doing it. No Man's Sky is doing it. With actual, like, flying around and stuff. And look at the AI. Look at the AI. You want to talk about combat? Are they flanking or what are they doing? You're just walking up and blasting them. Doom style. Like, look. Pirates, 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 pirates. One alien, pirates. Like, look at these guys. 3 guys shooting at you and he's punching them. Looks like it should be a performance mode to me. And now, after he says this stuff, listen to this. We go back to the beginning of this.
With, I think Gotham Knights sort of triggered this discussion again.
Wow.
Which it was one of the first big new gen exclusive games. 30 frames per second.
It's a modest paradise, Richard.
And then we've seen several other games come with the same limitation, and I am unsurprised to discover that Starfield is the same. But we've also seen this discussion of like, well, DF, why is it okay for a game like Starfield to be 30 frames per second, but then another game you might cover, you would expect.
Now, they come to the next video here. And now, hear this.
I think that's not
talking
that's
about
not the
next
play
gen
right now.
So you're accepting that some of these games can't run. It's a creative decision for 30 frames, right? It's a creative decision now. 30 frames is creative decision on consoles. Listen. If they can do it, they would do it. If they could put a performance mode in there and it's stable at 60 frames, they would do it. They would not say, no, we're not doing it. The problem is, why? It's because they can't do it. Or because of the Series X, they can't do it with parity to the Series X. And now you'll have an X and an S, and it will make the X. They don't want the X to sell. That's why it's never marketed. There's no they don't want to they don't want the X to sell. They want to sell S's to you. They want you to buy the cheaper console. That's the problem. What's up, El Nini? They want you to buy the booster. They don't want to get you that. And now, after you just said we accept that some of these games are not running at 30, they're incapable of doing it, you're not saying anything about PC. But now you're going to say you're going to support Xbox. And Phil Spencer's saying we're not doing a next generation console.
It took a long time to get to the point where you can walk into a store and buy these machines. And even then, it still can be a little bit sketchy in terms of whether you get one. It feels like the generation's really still just beginning. The cross-gen period is finally on its way out. It just kind of feels like those just finally able to get their consoles, they don't want to necessarily hear like, hey, it's time to upgrade to the new machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, you know, you have stuff like the PS5 with 8K written on the box, and we still haven't seen that. And it just feels like it would be...
Is that what he just said?
Able to get their consoles, they don't want to necessarily hear
8K on the box for a PS5.
You're like, hey, it's time to upgrade to the new machine.
They're
right.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when, you know, you have stuff like the PS5 with 8K written on the box, and we still haven't seen that. And it just feels like it would be closing the door on these machines too quickly. And so, you know, I think also Microsoft told us this back when we saw the Series X for the first time, that the Series X is their mid-gen refresh. They just decided to do it like ahead of time, I guess you could say. The Series S is what they consider like the standard machine. And then Series X is like, you know, that's getting ahead of the cart there. And this is what you might get from a mid-gen console. And I think...
What did they just say? Are you goddamn kidding me? Are we living in the frigging gaming twilight zone? Are we living in the gaming twilight zone? Are you telling me that Microsoft felt that the Series S was their next-gen console and the X was their mid-gen refresh? Are you kidding me? Because that's what they told you back when you got your hands on the X? You mean that exclusive hands-on? That exclusive hands-on that made you 1 million views or whatever, subscribers? You mean that exclusive hands-on as you were playing around with magnets? They told you the Series S is their main console? And you chose to tell that now, 3 years later?
You're my #1 customer.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
When we saw the Series X for the first time, that
back when they saw it in 2020,
the Series X is their mid-gen refresh. They just decided to do it like ahead of time, I guess you could say. The Series S is what they consider like the standard machine, and then Series X is like, you know, that's getting ahead of the cart there, and this is what you might get from a mid-gen console. And I think, you know, even with all the talk around Starfield and 30 FPS, I don't really think that's necessarily a limitation in the machine. That's just Bethesda doing Bethesda things.
What? How is that acceptable? How? He don't think it's a hardware limitation. It's just Bethesda doing Bethesda things. What kind of pass is that? What kind of hall pass is that? What are you like? How is that acceptable from The Digital Foundry.
Where's the lamb sauce? It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw. Come on.
Yes, chef.
Pink, this raw.
And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
Raw. 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 Shit. Raw. Pathetic. The three of you are pathetic. You don't care.
I care,
You're
Chef.
way behind and you haven't got a fucking clue. The three of you are pathetic. You don't care.
I care,
You're
Chef.
way behind and you haven't got a fucking clue. Can we work? The three of you are pathetic. You don't care.
I care,
You're
Chef.
way behind and you haven't got a fucking clue. Can we work together as a team? It's not even pink. This is raw.
And Coop has delivered undercooked
Where's
salmon.
the lamb sauce? It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw. Come on.
Yes, chef.
Oh, this coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
You're done.
Oh, good. Then it's not just
You're
me.
washed. It's over.
Would you ship that? What you just played?
Are you kidding me? I can't believe this. Bethesda doing Bethesda, and that the X is a mid-gen refresh console. They already said, you mean the S was their main console to compete against the PS5? If you're forgetting, the S was brought up last. They used the X and Project Scarlet for a year and a half and pushed the Series X and announced the Series X on stage at the Game Awards. Not the S. They announced the X on stage. They didn't say we have two consoles. They said they had one console, the Series X, with Hellblade on the stage on 2019. They didn't say we have an S. The S came in the summertime as Project Lockhart, which was later. No way was the S their main console. This is just, I can't believe he's saying that they told them that back then. The X is their mid-gen refresh. Are you kidding me? And you're saying Starfield at 30 frames is not a limitation of the console? If it's not, then why isn't it 30 frames locked on PC then? If it could run more on PC, then tell me why the console can't run 60 frames. If it could run 60 frames on PC, hell, I'm going to run it 60 frames with my friggin' Asus Ally.
You're my number one customer.
And show you that I can run it on a Z1 chip, 60 frames per second. I'm going to drop that thing to 100p just to show you that you could. And show you probably why they're not able to do it. It is a limitation of the hardware. That's why you need a mid-gen refresh, because the S needs to go. The S is bringing them down. They don't want parity between their two consoles. The S can't do performance modes in these new next-gen only games. This is a next-gen only game. Hell, if the S is running it, why can't they just put Starfield on the One X? The One X is more powerful than the Series S. Hell, this game should be a cross-gen game. If this is the logic that they're doing, if the console's not holding back performance, then hell, why isn't Starfield on a One X? Why isn't Starfield on the One consoles, the Xbox One? If that's the case, why? JX Gundam says, Jez, they're damage controlling because Starfield is all they have left. JX, they did the same thing with Halo. They were not going to shit on Halo. Halo had to survive. So they babied Halo. They said the performances are coming later. Well, it's later this, later that. And they babied Halo, and look what happened. They still drove Halo into the ground. All the babying and coddling and the 86 on Metacritic, all that stuff for Halo Infinite didn't even help it. It dropped off faster than a ball dropping off the edge of a cliff. You want to know why? Because they couldn't provide the content. They lied. They said all the stuff that wasn't there. They pivoted. Their studio was a mess. But all the excuses, oh, well, Halo co-op is coming later. See, in March. It was coming in March. Dude, came a year and a half later. Now, it's Bethesda. Dude, it's not even running at 4K. 4K 30 on the X. No, it's not even 4K. And you're just saying it's 30 frames because Bethesda? Well, listen. Then I'm assuming it's locked 30 frames on PC. I need to see that. If it's locked 30 frames on PC, then you got a point. But what's crazy about this thing is that it turns around from Starfield not able to get a performance mode into the PlayStation Pro. Like Sony has a problem. Let me read this couple more super chats. Shout out to Thrifty VIP. He goes, this is pathetic. I can't believe Digital Foundry is back to protecting Microsoft. Yeah, I wonder what happened. The Game Night 123 up to 10. Thank you so much, man. He goes, if this is just Bethesda being Bethesda, then explain why Baldur's Gate 3 isn't releasing. That's a great example on Xbox anytime soon due to their hardware and not being able to do co-op. Exactly. We have a lot more examples than Bethesda just being Bethesda as to why Xbox is in a jam right now with the Series S.
Obviously, last generation we had an S and an X console, and I think they just transplanted that across to the current generation. So, you know, the Series S is the equivalent of the 1S from the last generation, and
you realize that now, 3 years in,
of the 1X. It's just you're getting both of them at the same time at launch.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and obviously there was quite a long discussion we had about the problems of creating a new console that's meaningfully different from the current one, given price constraints. Alex, your thoughts on this one?
I'm with Phil Spencer here. I other than from like the weirdly hardcore who wants, I don't know exactly what they want, but they want new pro consoles for some reason. I think we still have yet to tap into what is going on with this gen. We still barely have seen any UE5 releases, like, which is supposed to be the generation's engine at this point in time. You know, I saw the other day that, you know, with each and every generation come to pass, they get longer. You know, you had your 360, your PS3 gen, then the last generation. And
oh my God. Listen. I agree in the sense that I don't want to have to run out and buy another console, a pro console. Okay? We need to see what these consoles can do. But the thing is, Sony, with the PlayStation games and Horizon, just to one example of it, hell, Demon Souls and all that other stuff at launch, showed better why PS5 exists and the capabilities of the machine. God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, the DLC to Horizon, another great example of what the PS5 can do. Now, the one that seems to be struggling and has yet to demonstrate the capabilities of its machine is solely Xbox. They're the ones that haven't released a first-party game worth a damn, no ray tracing in Halo Infinite, can't get co-op split screen to work. Redfall looks like trash and couldn't get a 60 frames at launch for both consoles. Pentiment and smaller games releasing on it. And the only game they have that's visually pleasing is the same old Forza, the one and done Forza. Ratchet and Clank, another example of the showcase. There's a lot of examples that showcase the PS5. So to say that we haven't seen it yet, you might be talking about just one other brand that hasn't shown it yet. And guess what? That brand was the one that was doing all the talking. Oh, harvest methods and this and vapor chambers and eating monsters for breakfast. We heard you that you're going to see pixels you've never seen before. And what's crazy is they did the same exact thing with the 1X. The same eating monsters for breakfast, and they couldn't release anything besides Red Dead Redemption 4K to demonstrate that and Gears. That's it. 1X is done. 3 years done. 2.5 years, X was gone. The 1X. Because the Series S came about. Xbox is the one that can't show why the 12 teraflops exists. That's the problem that we haven't seen yet. And then, when you do your cross-analysis of games, it's always the more powerful console, the Xbox, that has the performance issues, the glitches and the frame pacings and the oopses. And the PlayStation has better performance and better playing overall. So it's one brand that talks a lot, that you're with Phil, the one that don't shut up. They haven't shown anything yet.
And I imagine this one is just going to be the longest one yet. I don't see why it would change.
I mean, with development, it does get longer and harder.
Yeah. So the thing is, we just need actually a stable base to be formed first before we start talking about changing anything. And this goes, I don't even have to talk about the fact that I think the upgrade path in the console space, based upon the hardware that AMD has on offer yet, is not compelling enough from my perspective to make an upgrade in any sense of the word really worth it. Without just complicating the development environment so much so. So I'm not happy if there's actually a PS5 Pro, to be honest with you.
You're not happy?
Well, I wouldn't be very happy with it. I want them to make the most out of PS5 and then see what happens there instead of already making PS5 you get like a 30 FPS experience machine and we can't fit everything we want on it because we put everything we want on it and the PS5 Pro. I don't want to see that thing happening. And, I want to see them first do as much as they can with the PS5. Yeah.
Interesting.
We just said that PlayStation is actually demonstrating their PS5. If you don't want to see a PS5 Pro, what the hell are we seeing with the Xbox supposedly mid-gen refresh 1X and Series X and Series S? What, like, PlayStation has demonstrated their capabilities of the system. Xbox hasn't, and they're the ones that released the mid-gen refresh already, apparently. And it's not working. Their S is bringing it down. The S is weaker than everything. How do you know? You, Digital Foundry, you're saying how games are not hitting 60 frame performance modes and giving excuses to Bethesda, but you don't want a mid-gen refresh to give you that PC experience. Listen. This is because the rumors of the PlayStation are out there. That's why. And this is because Phil Spencer said the market has shown, right? What did Phil Spencer say? Watch this. Because this is where it came from. This is what he's agreeing with. Not what he said at launch. Forbes. Here it is. Paul Tassi interview. Phil Spencer says, Series X doesn't need an upgrade. It's that true. Phil, again, in his, can't shut his mouth. No game still, but can't shut his mouth. Goes here. He says, doesn't feel imperative to release another Xbox. Quote, that's not the feedback we're getting right now. Right now, we're pretty set on the hardware we have. That's what he said. The feedback we're getting right now. The only feedback I could think about is the sales. They're seeing that the S is outselling the Series X. The S, because all the hardcore have left. Like, the people that care about power have either went on to PC or went to a PlayStation for games. So they're getting the booster. They're getting the bottom of the barrel, exactly what they want. It's not the feedback they're getting. It's the sales. It must be really drastic. We're thinking 2-to-1. I'm wondering if it's like, if that Series X is really the 10%. It's like the diehards and that's it. And everybody's just picking up an S. And why? Guys, why? Why are people picking up an Xbox Series S? It goes to exactly what Phil said in 2019. You want to know why? Would you pick up a PlayStation 5 slim edition that was weaker than the PS5. Let's put it in perspective here. The games that they're making fit a booster box, a Series S. They're not making games that look incredible, that really are huge quality games that you want to play it best on the better hardware. When you get a PS5, when you see a Horizon Forbidden West, do you want the slim version of Horizon, or do you want to play that on the best possible hardware that you can? You want to play Horizon Forbidden West at 900p, at 1080p? The games that Sony are making demonstrate the reason for the power. Microsoft has not released anything graphically or performance fidelity wise that even warrants a purchase of a Series X. The games lineup, what they choose to show, what they are doing, the reason why they're attracting the markets that they're attracting. Xbox is attracting the people that just really don't care. They don't care. And the games they're making, like Pentiment, that they released last year, Pentiment, Psychonauts, Redfall, even Redfall. You think Redfall deserves the high-fidelity console? No. What's up, the biggest? How you doing, man? No. But when you see these graphically impressive games from Sony, even remasters of games like Last of Us Part 1, you want to play that on that visual. And it goes the same thing for media. Like, I'm thinking, if you see an incredible movie that has explosions and surround sound and it looks like incredible, like a fiesta for your eyes, right? You're probably going to say, I want to see that on IMAX. You're not looking at that going, oh yeah, I'll just want to watch that on my phone. No. You see that big budget Transformers movie with all that stuff, you're like, no, we're going to IMAX to see that one. The content warrants the bigger experience, the better experience. Now, if you keep releasing Transformer action movies, you're going to be going to IMAX. Sony's releasing those kind of type of games. You're going to want the best to play it. Microsoft, on the other end, is giving you hokey dokey stuff, incomplete things. Wait a little bit. Seasonality. The ray tracing comes later. The performance modes come later. Crossfire X. Oh, worst reviewed game. Oh, Redfall. Worst reviewed game of the year. Here's a little bit of Pentiment. Here's a little indie passion project called Hi-Fi Rush. Here's some games. We got Starfield. Look at these jank-ass characters. Like, look at the graph. What you're offering doesn't warrant the IMAX experience, Microsoft. What you're offering says, you know what? I'll try it out on a phone for free for $10 a month. That looks about right. They're marketing to bottom barrel. They're marketing to the S. They're not selling experiences for the X. Crossfire X was the only console exclusive game. They're marketing. They're making games to watch on a phone. Worst frame rates. They're not justifying the X as in lieu of a PC. The X should be, hey, if you like console games and want the power of PC, get an X. No, the X is being held back because they're marketing the S. And just look at what they released. They released a Series S black version for $350. They're asking more for the weaker console. We've seen how much hard drives have dropped in price, everybody. I just got a 2 terabyte SSD for the Steam Deck size for $200. They have added a 1 terabyte drive into the cheap-ass console and are charging you $50 more. 3 years later, 512 and 1 terabyte is a difference of $50 and some black paint? What the hell's that markup? You're adding double the internal memory and charging $50 more. 3 years later. Go look up the difference between a 512 SSD and a 2 terabyte now. Nonetheless, a Gen 3 one. Or Gen 3. They are charging more money for the weaker console, and you could pre-order it. Pre-order it. You could pre-order it, and it releases the same month as Starfield. They are marketing. He says it right there. The feedback says they need to revamp the S. The X is fine. Fade it out. Now, he could be lying. They're set on the hardware that they have. They're satisfied with the results that they're seeing in their multi-platform performance and in not having performance modes from their first-party games. Are you kidding me? Are you satisfied with that? You're charging more money for a 1 terabyte booster. It doesn't have better RAM. It doesn't have a better fidelity. Nope. It's the same old stuff with a black coat of paint and 1 terabyte internal. That's it. And it's $50 more after they were selling the Series S for $199, $250 during the holidays. As low as $199. What are we doing here? What is going on? $50 more, $50 less than the PS5. That's what the feedback is telling them. That's why there's no mid-gen refresh. You want to know why? Because they can't even handle what they already got. They never justified the X. There's no game Crossfire. Like, look at the games they released. They're releasing Game Pass fodder stuff that fits the low entry booster box. That's exactly what they want. And guess what else, everybody? Then you could buy another Xbox. If you buy a Series X, that's the dead end. That's like coming in as a president. You don't want to come in as a president. You want to come in as a vice president and go be president. That's what they're doing. Get them in entry-wise, low cost, cheap-ass gaming, Game Pass. Because the S, when you're paying less, you're most likely to get a certain. That's the customer they want. They want that used market customer. They want the people that are penny watchers and penny savers. They want the cheap-ass gamer. Because the cheap-ass gamer is the one they can manipulate to buy the bootleg season passes with shoulder pads and knee pads. They don't know any better. Hey, I got this game for free. Okay, I'll buy some shoulder pads. Exactly. That's what they want. Shout out coming to Super Chats. Well, we knew when we were going to talk about boosters. Booster himself, True Virgil, coming on in. Spreading lies again, Mr. Bootleg. Xbox is
You're my number one customer.
Hit that like button, grinders.
I waited for I waited for Halo, and all you gave me was bootleg Joe. Oh, now we sit and wait for content. Hands up.
Oh, this coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
End of the line.
And it's not just me.
Glinza with the 2. Watch out. Watch Sony make PS5 ad touting 60 frames per second. Ouch. Exactly, right? Spider-Man's going to have 60 frames per second. That's a next-gen only game. Open world. What? Because it's not rendering sandwiches on the planet? We're making excuses? We knew Bethesda's going to get this. This is a Todd Howard baby. They love themselves some Todd. PC gamers love themselves some Todd or tech, whatever they are. They know the mods will let this game up. And that's the thing that's bothering me, because even Dustin Laguerre with his stuff, like, I am along the lines like, Onolix Alex did his video about the 60 frames and 30 frames, and I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's ridiculous that these consoles were touted as the most powerful console. At least the X should have a 60 frames. But I saw Destin do a video completely making excuses for why Xbox should be okay with the 30 frames per second. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How do you justify that? And again, like I said, Redfall was lambasted about 30 frames not having a 60 at launch. Starfield's just like, yeah, we're not doing it. And people, that's defending it. And then to say how PlayStation, we haven't seen the capabilities mid-gen refresh. Listen, they're the ones, the Xbox was touting power over everything. They will never be underpowered again. How is this acceptable to those who bought a Series X? And what's crazy is like Destin, Digital Foundry, they are making excuses why it's acceptable for the console, Xbox, not PlayStation. Don't throw PlayStation into this, because I see Destin and other, they throw, PlayStation. No, PlayStation's doing fine showing what the PlayStation can do. This is not a PlayStation problem. This is an Xbox problem. PlayStation has done 60 frames. They've done PS5 only games. They've done Horizon at 60 frames. They're fine. This is not a PlayStation problem. So when you're talking about console capabilities, throwing 8K PlayStation under the bus, this is not a PlayStation problem. This is an Xbox problem because of what Xbox decided to do with their two stupid-ass consoles and the memory and what they chose, what they prioritized. This is not PlayStation's problem. This is not Nintendo's problem. This is an Xbox problem. This is a first-party studio. This is a $7 billion problem. This is a $7 billion purchase that's not showing the fruits of its labor. You paid $7 billion for Bethesda to make it run worse on your console than on PC. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. You spent $7 billion to make this game exclusive to your platform, and it plays worse on your console. 30 frames that long. 30 frames on a console is not going to sell. That's not the best place to play it on the X. It's telling people, go play it on PC. It's better. But what's crazy is that these dudes like Destin, Digital Foundry, they're playing this game on PC. Destin said it in his Twitter. He's like, yeah, I'm playing this on PC. Why? Why? If 30 frames don't matter to you and it's acceptable, why are you not on day one playing that on an Xbox console? Destin, you talk about Xbox, you get all your Patreons and all your chats and all your people. They're not PC gamers. They're Xbox gamers. Shouldn't you, growing your channel, be playing this game on an Xbox since you seem so adamant about 30 frames is acceptable? I expect you to be booting that shit up day one on your Xbox. That's what all your Patreon comes from. That's what all your chats come from. That's where all your followers come from. It's Xbox. And don't give me the bullshit that Xbox and PC are the same thing, because they're not. Obviously, one has a 30 frames per second cap on it, and the PC doesn't. They're not the same thing. And if frames don't matter to you and it's acceptable, then you should be there day one on your Xbox. Hell, you should be streaming it from your S if you can. Hell, note to grinders, they have not updated Twitter sharing ever. Again, you can't share shit to YouTube. Never could. You can't share now screenshots and videos to Twitter. They dropped it with the Twitter said Microsoft has to pay a month ago. Where are the big articles about that you can't share the Twitter from Xbox anymore? No, we're not going to talk about that. Good job, media. But if it's okay and you speak and represent the Xbox crowd, then you should be playing it on Xbox, not on PC. And tell me why you're playing it on PC. What, because of the mod support? Well, wait a second. You told me PC's Xbox and Xbox is PC. Shouldn't there be mod support on consoles as well? Oh, I guess not. I guess they're different. And if you want to play with the better frames, then you're a big hypocrite then. Then I guess frames matter. 60 frames per second. Hell, you know what's so funny is that when Destiny was 30 frames per second, it was, nobody said design choice. Oh, but they loved it when it went to 60. That was a reason to buy a next-gen console. According to a lot of Xbox owners, they bought an Xbox to play Destiny at 60 frames per second. Oh my. But frames is a design choice. What are you talking about? It's a buzzword. Isn't it? But I saw tons of people who solely all they do is play Destiny. Name them all. I'm getting an Xbox to play Destiny at 60 frames, but it's a buzzword. It's a sales pitch. What are you talking about? Oh, really? A buzzword. Well, 120 hertz was a buzzword. Was it? VRR, was that a buzzword? Quick resume, was that a buzzword? Vapor chamber. Hovis method. They're sounding like a lot of buzzwords to me. I wouldn't call 60 frames per second a buzzword because that was the whole point of this generation, was that we were going to get better fidelity and better frame rate in moving migration over to the next generation. Exactly, Jeeves. Quick resume's a buzzword. Hovis method. Monsters that eat monsters for breakfast is a buzzword. Not 60 frames. That is a technical achievement. That is a technical item to a digital product. Its capabilities of performance. Now, granted, 30 frames, 60 frames, you choose what you want to play. But don't make excuses for the incapabilities of the machine that was touted the most powerful machine that cannot run their own ass games at 60 frames per second. These are their own ass games. These are not third party. These are not B and C devs. These are their own first party. The access behind the scenes to Bethesda, to Todd Howard, to Arcane. They have the Xbox ninjas. Full access. They are first party developer. Their responsibility is to take full advantage of the hardware that is released by their company. And we got not one, but two big $70 games because the same dudes capping that 30 frames is okay were the same clowns last year saying Sony charging $70 for games. And now their go around of $70 games comes around and they're getting subpar games. And it's acceptable. How's that? Sony was showing Horizon and they're using the same animations, not worth $70. He's using the same animation to get on the boat in God of War, not worth $70. They're showing their games for fidelity at 4K 30, not worth $70. In the search for W's, all they get are L's because it came full circle to all of them. Because now they got their own bout of $70 games, and the first round is not even coming with performance modes. They don't have shit coming to you in performance modes. And you're willing, $70 doesn't seem to be a problem. Why? Because it's in little old Game Pass? Well, then Game Pass is the excuse. The excuse that I said it was going to be 5-6 years ago on this goddamn channel. Game Pass is a crutch. It's an excuse. It's an excuse for bad quality, for making excuses, for shipping shit incomplete. That's what Game Pass is. And this just proves my point. It always has. Halo is a Game Pass, and their subscription gaming, bottom dollar shopping has turned a hobby that we love, and they look at it as a cash grab and searching for the ignorant, cheap-ass gamer. That's what they want to turn gaming into. Cheap-ass gaming. How dare they destroy Halo the way it is? They can, because of Game Pass. They can. And you want to see, look.
Will either run at 60 FPS or above.
There you go.
Or offer.
You want to, I don't forget. This is the narrative that was going on when Sony was showing its next-gen games.
Looking ahead for the Xbox Series X, most if not all of the first-party Xbox Game Studios exclusives will either run at 60 FPS or above, or offer a performance mode to run at 60. Halo Infinite, Forza, Gears, Psychonauts 2, Everwild, Hellblade 2, and many more. Xbox has expressed that a target frame rate for the Xbox Series X console is 60 FPS, and they are setting the bar in-house, even with the platform supporting Xbox One for a year or two.
And it wasn't just him. This was the narrative of the media, of all the Xbox fans, of the Xbox Corporation with Phil Spencer, focusing on frame rate and all this stuff. This was them. It wasn't just him. I'm not going to just blame Colt Eastwood for this thing. It wasn't just him. It was all of them. And hear this. Now hear about PS5.
Contrast this with the biggest games being shown by Sony for the PS5. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is being boasted by PlayStation engineers and developers to push for visual quality and animations at 30 FPS over the prospect of playing at 60. Insomniac believes that it is more important to see the quality animations and interactions with the world at 30 FPS than to compromise visuals or effects at the cost of playing at 60 FPS.
Insomniac never said that. They chose to show the video, and because it was 4K 30, he made the decision that they only care about fidelity over performance. Insomniac never said that. Thanks, Bill.
You're my number one customer.
Insomniac never said we're not doing performance modes. They actually had a performance ray tracing mode, 2 performance modes. You can't even get goddamn one in your $70 games. Redfall's still on its way. Starfield says, go fuck yourself. You can't even get one. They had 2 of them in here. They had performance and performance ray tracing. Take your pick, bitch. But because they showed it in 4K 30, he made this decision.
Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West is also likely favoring visuals over performance. Even though looking at the delta of the PS4 Pro power to the PS5, the new hardware can easily handle these visuals at a manageable resolution at 60 FPS.
Oh, he says that he's developer. He knows that Horizon could do it at 60 frames. This is what they all were doing. This wasn't just him. This was all of them. The media, Digital Foundry, all of them were hyping up the performance of the next generation consoles. What's his name? He wasn't running around saying this.
Back when we saw the Series X for the first time, that the Series X is their mid-gen.
He never said this.
They just
3 years he held on to that news.
Ahead of time, I guess you could say. The Series S is what they consider like the standard machine. And then Series X is like, you know, that's getting ahead of the cart there. And this is
getting ahead of the cart. He held on to that news for 3 goddamn years. Later, JX. Thank you so much, man. 3 years he held on to that news. The S is their platform. Glinda with the 2. He goes 60 falsehoods per second. Exactly. Dude, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous what is coming out of these mouths. I don't understand it. It's crazy. Listen, you could play 30, you could play 60, do whatever you want. Sometimes I'll play 30 with fidelity. I will go back and forth and see if there's a big difference. If it's really too blurry on a performance mode, I might stay in fidelity mode. I am not one of those frames per second war heroes here. But I'm going to tell you the God honest truth here. There needs to be an option. There should be an option. And if there isn't an option, then we should be getting mid-gen refreshes to give us that option. Because that's the expectation that was set last gen with the Xbox Series or the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro. They introduced performance modes and quality modes. That expectation's been set. That expectation should be met, especially by the first-party studios that you bought. Or maybe it's because you bought them, they don't do it. But the thing is that those expectations should be met. Because if this was Sony charging $70 for 30 frames per second, no performance modes, and they have gone beyond, above and beyond with performance ray tracing, performance this, even Forspoken that everybody makes fun of, it had 3 modes: quality, performance. It had ray tracing, and it had a performance mode, a 60 frames per second mode, which they improve over time. That's another thing. They have it at launch, and then they add better tweaks. They did the same thing with Horizon. They took away the fuzz. There was a little fuzz in the performance mode. They cleaned it up. But the expectation should be there. The options. Remember Phil Spencer says options. The options should be there. And if it's because the S can't do it or it's too low, then that's a problem that you created, Microsoft. It's the S. That's you made that bed. You live in it now. And that's what the problem is. It's like if we're going to use Starfield at 30 frames as an excuse to say, well, you know what, this generation is a PlayStation at 8K on the box. No. PlayStation's delivering. They have delivered. Now, if they choose to go 30 frames per second in games, then we see that, yeah, maybe it's an industry thing with the capabilities of this hardware. But until they do that, if Spider-Man comes out, it's like, yo, it's only 30 frames. That's it. We can't do 60 on it. Now we need mid-gen refreshes. But until that day happens, this is an Xbox problem. This is not a PlayStation problem. PlayStation has known the assignment. And they have delivered. Hell, they even use their VR as leverage of why the power of the PlayStation is there. And improving upon that as well. So, this is not a PlayStation problem, consoles, you want to boot them in there. This is an Xbox problem. Starfield, that is about right. It is right. It wasn't a slip. It was intentional, I guess. Exactly. Scott Free goes, well, come to find out Series S was supposed to be the main model and the X was the mid-gen upgrade. What? When did that, you held on to that nugget of news for 3 goddamn years after hyping up the technology of the Series X? True Virgil. Game Pass has made more games at 120 frames. What are you talking about? Game Pass has way more games at 120. I'm talking about their first-party games. And tell me why these last 2 games can't even hit 60. How are you excited for 120? They can't even give you 60. And if that's something you're excited about, True Virgil, Game Pass has way more games at 120 frames. If that is a point that you want to make, then this shit should be bothering you. You couldn't sleep at night. If that's something that you want to make a point of, that Game Pass has 120 games, 120 frames per second games, if that's a point that you want to make, then how does this not bother you? You're capping. And who wants to play a game at 120 frames per second when they're removing the crowd from the race? And these are old-ass games. You can't even hit performance in Redfall at 60 frames, that game looking like an asshole. And we're talking 120 frames. You better take that 120 hertz and then go the other way with it, because you're in no way talking about 120 hertz games when your first party can't even deliver 60 frames on your own goddamn games that look like shit anyway. They don't look good. If they were looking like the incredible, like Unreal 5 engine goddamn demos, okay, I'll take 30. Okay, I could see why 60. You look at those ass textures. Look at the horrible game. Animations and everything. And you're telling me that's struggling? That's the problem. The games are not looking like they should struggle. They look like they could be run on last gen consoles. That's the problem. Those animations, those character things, that looks like it should run last gen. No way. The person throwing out 120 hertz has no place to stay if you want to hype up Xbox in 120 hertz, because guess what? There are a bunch of cross-gen games that hit 120. Now that we're coming into the only next-gen games that Microsoft says they're only next-gen, you're not seeing 120 anymore, are you? They can't even hit 60. Now, will Sony follow suit? I don't think so. Because I think Spider-Man come out 60. Horizon, that new DLC is 60. Forspoken 60. At least there's a performance choice that you could choose as a console owner. They're not giving you a choice. And I thought that's why everybody loved Phil. It's about gamer choice. Well, if you choose to go Xbox, I got a line for you. This is your choice right here.
Oh no! We suck again!
And that's how we're going to end it, Grinders. Thank you for over 300 people watching the show. Hit the like button, share it out. My voice is hoarse. I need a drink. But we did the Bachelor Grindhouse tonight. Awesome. Just chatting with the chat, going through a big rant. But hey, man, this is, I still can't believe it. I could probably still keep talking about this thing because it is just, it's insane. It is completely contradictory to everything that we're doing. And really, there's no place to put Sony in this right now. This is a Microsoft problem. This is an Xbox quality problem. It's the same problem they had when Phil was saying this.
Just focused more on great games on our console that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of.
And so everything that we're doing with our content, with our our cloud and
means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first-party output.
That's always been a hit on the company.
Games to our platform, because in the end I think the gamers play the games.
Of course they do.
They don't play the studios. They don't
true.
play the resolution numbers, right? They play the games, and we want to make sure the best games are there.
But if you're
Well, you've done a bad job at that. So the essence of the whole conversation is still a problem. Quality management control on Xbox games. It's the same thing that it was years ago in 2019 when he's talking about quality, and it's the same issue they have in 2023. Post Halo Infinite, post Redfall, post all the trash that they've been releasing. Forza is immune to it, but who knows? Forza Motorsport looking like it got a couple of whiffs of it. But the same issue they came in with is the same issue they're leaving with. And the same issue that they are touching Bethesda. They're not demanding better quality from Bethesda because now you're a Microsoft product. That was the problem they had with Redfall. Remember they said with Redfall, there's a different weight that comes when you are owned by Microsoft. When you're a first-party studio, there's a different expectation. He said that, and we didn't let them know over at Arcane about that. You're representing Microsoft here. You're not just Arcane. And now you're willing to do the same with Starfield. Just ship it out there and have all your minions make excuses for it because you made Starfield get the brunt of it. But you still have the issue of quality. And I'm telling you right now, we see the resolution of Starfield. We see that there's no 60 frames. This game better come out looking like a 4K masterpiece. Locked at 30. Let's see. Let's see the graphical that we already seen the downgrade from what they showed last year. Get ready to when it's in hands in September and tell me what the vistas look like, what the performance looks like, what the physics looks like walking through grass. Let's see when it's in our hands the quality, if it's still there. Because if you're coming out here saying 4K 30, you better have a masterpiece on your hand. We'll find out. But Grinders, thank you again for all the support, the VIPs, the super chats, and all just for being here, hitting that like button, share out the video. Thanks again, Grinders. Awesome Gaming Grindhouse. Keep it locked here. Be more shows this week, and then we'll be back next week on the Gaming Grindhouse episode 118. And shout out to Master Chief for coming on and giving that very powerful speech, but it's the damn truth. They have destroyed that brand. Insane. Hit that like button, Grinders. See you later. Hit me with that Game Pass song. That's what it's all about and why we're here. Because this is why these games are bad quality.
Oh, and Psychonauts 2. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Some of them are like a Requiem. What to play first?